5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're old, corroding like a geezer.
Where's the beef indeed? Hey, everybody, it is time for GRAYBEARD'S Studio. This is episode 123, and we are doing video game villains, which I think came as a shock to all of us. But I think David came up with these categories this week, and my feeling is that David knows, or clearly we all know, but I think David was planning that, hey, there's been Marvel video games, there's been DC video games, so either way, he was going to get to draw Marvel or DC villains, which was really his plan the whole time. Let's bring him in and see if he will confirm or deny this. Everybody, welcome David Williams. You had this figured out the whole time, didn't you?
That's right.
Yep. Total manipulation of the show. And here's a guy that manipulates. He's like Rasputin. He's a mind manipulator. It's Gary Martin.
Aaron?
Yes.
I realize that I'm so secretive that if someone asks me, hey, can you keep a secret? I'll say, that's none of your business.
Man, you missed your calling. You could have been like a stand-up comedian or something. Or something. I'm emphasizing the or something. Dan Lawless is having camera trouble at the moment, but he will be dropping in as soon as he solves that issue. Dan, of course, in Dan's way, suggested to me about 30 minutes before the show started that, hey, you know, we should have Billy Tucci on today to promote his campaign that's closing out. And I keep begging him, Dan, give me your ideas a couple days before the show so I can actually do something with them. But anyway, so just as a quick reminder, you guys, Billy Tucci is closing out She Gatecrasher, and I'm sure he'll be on with Ethan later and all over the place. But keep that in mind if you haven't backed that campaign yet to check that out. So that's my public service announcement for the day. As we continue to stall for our good friend Dan to fix his camera. Now, see, that's what I like about David, Gary. David comes on even when his microphone doesn't work. He's still here. David, hello.
Yeah.
There he is. Okay. All right. Make sure you're still there.
We're both leaning in.
Yeah, trying to listen and go, David, is David there? Okay, so Spambot says it's a great idea. So many cool evil robots to choose from, and we won't be choosing any of them today. So actually, I don't know what Dan Lawless is going to be doing, but
I've seen a lot of recommendations from the chat. I haven't seen like someone get an overwhelming amount of votes. They're all like all over the place. And most of the suggestions are characters I've never heard of.
Yeah, and Sequential Treasure says, so we'll get a 2-hour stream of Aaron complaining he doesn't know any of these characters and how to draw them. That's exactly right.
So you don't have to watch. You know what's
you don't even have to watch, James. You can just turn it off because you know exactly how it's going to go. Victor says, man, I wish these guys weren't afraid to try and do something that's popular today.
That has nothing to do with us. We
like
didn't
manga?
Choose the category. It was the chat. Why do we get blamed for?
We get blamed for everything. You know, it's just like, and he says, man, I wish these guys weren't afraid to try and do something that's popular today, like manga, video games, or maybe video. We're doing video games, Victor. Are you? Hello. Quorum's here. Past Master Dan is joining us. He said video game villains. How did that happen? We're all scratching our head on that one. Aaron, Creative Face says, Aaron, I guess the red paddle is the villain in Pong. Okay. Took me a second, but I just got that. Maybe, can I draw the red paddle and I'll be done? I'll even do it in color. Yeah. Robert the Bruce is here. He's suggesting I draw. Well, let's bring this up. He's suggesting that I can do Atari Force villains, but let's be honest, Atari Force is Atari Force no matter who the good guys or bad guys are, and who really cares? Just take that Atari Force trash out of here. Mikhail is here.
Maybe the true Atari Force villain was DC Comics.
Maybe. Might be onto something. See, people think I'm always, dissing on Garcia Lopez, or maybe Mike Barron wrote some of those. And I'm just like, I'm not dissing on the creative talent. I'm dissing on the concept. I'm just, come on. You're creating a super team based on a cartridge video game. I'm out. I don't even want to look at it. And
I was around the DC offices when they were starting up that project, and the editorial staff was really excited. They thought it was going to be huge, and it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's got to be Dan, right? Dan's having trouble with his equipment, so now he's calling Aaron to tell him that his stuff isn't working. See, this is what I'm assuming the conversation's going. And then Aaron says, well, Dan, we actually don't need you on the show. You're just kind of filling in for Kelsey. When you realize when Kelsey comes back, you're out of here. And that day will come. So deal with it, Dan. Goodbye.
All right. What did I miss?
Who was that?
That was the car repair people telling me my truck is done. It wasn't supposed to be done until tomorrow.
Okay, Dan, I take it all back. Everything I said.
Were you just ripping on Dan, going, he's calling, telling us?
Well, I thought
Dan because his camera won't work.
Yeah, I thought Dan was calling, and so I kind of.
See, look at this. Is twice. That was like 2 shows in a row.
So
you're pixelating, Gary.
There's something
Gary
wrong
frozen?
with
Is it just me, or is Gary frozen right now? There you go. Okay.
There is something wrong with my camera today. So what is it with technical difficulties with everyone?
Gary, you're freezing and pixelating.
It looks fine over here.
Yeah, it looks fine.
What, are you hearing him fine?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have him dropping out.
It's not dropping out on the stream.
What is going on? You can hear him fine, David?
Yes.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't hear anything he's saying. So
really. So it's the problem is your.
Yeah, I can't hear anything you're saying. There you go. Well, you guys, it's going to be a doozy today. We're already just rolling right along. Headless Bourgeoisie says you're having a stroke, Aaron. Maybe. What I found out sometimes, though, is that when I start seeing other people pixelating or dropping in and out, that it's actually me that's frozen and they're fine. But that's why I was asking David, and if David could hear me and he could hear you, Gary.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Well, yeah, you're fine now.
Okay.
but I was getting like frozen images of you and then like not getting any of your audio. So I don't know what you said the last 10 minutes. So you don't have to repeat it unless you really
your
was good.
camera just can't handle my rugged good looks.
That could be. That could be. I was watching a scene from one of those Clint Eastwood fist fighting movies, Every Which Way You Can, Any Which Way You Can. And I thought,
you just described every film he ever made, except maybe Paint Your Wagon.
No, the one with the orangutan, you know, the and I thought Clint kind of looks like Gary. He's got that kind of squinty eye, pissed off look, and I don't know.
I've gotten that from time to time.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of Clint Eastwood in you there. Alexander Urquhart Jensen. Urquhart Jensen. Gary is fine and was so all along. So is me, I guess. Yeah, John says.
How far back does that Gary is fine go? Does that go back to like my childhood that I'm fine?
Maybe. Stealth X5 for $2 says hello. Thank you, Stealth. Appreciate it very much. Matt Watt is saying, I'm telling you all, do the Elden Ring bosses. They're sick designs.
See, everybody's got their own favorites.
The great thing about me is, Gary, I have no favorites. I hate them all. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Actually, I have a pretty good idea. Paul Ott from the great state of Washington. I don't know if it's a great state, but we'll just go with that.
Well, it's easily as great as Oregon.
Yeah, well, they're right. They're neck and neck. Came up with a pretty good suggestion that I thought was kind of funny, and I think I can do something with it. So I'm going to go that route. I'll reveal that shortly. I don't know what we do about Mr. Lawless. I'm hoping that he can get himself figured out. But
he's pretty tech savvy. He should probably figure it out sooner or later.
You would think. Iodine 74 says, Aaron, you can keep it simple and draw a ghost from Pac-Man. What was that, David?
I said, just read the names of the people who are in the chat.
I'm trying, but you keep interrupting me. You and Gary. Gary freezes. I sped the chat ahead so I could see if it was me freezing or if it was Gary, and everybody's saying it's my fault. So Pantheon's here. There's Spambot, Skull Nasher, Headless Bourgeoisie, Randy Howell, all the way from Canada. There's Rand Arrington. He's always here. Not to imply that other people aren't always here, Gary. I'm just saying that he's always here.
Well, it was the tone of your voice, though. You made it sound like, oh, man, he's here again.
Did I? Correct
me if I'm wrong. It should be like, we're excited that he's here, and he gets kudos for being here so often.
I think you're throwing Katie Did shade at me.
Okay, all right.
You're trying to make me sound like a bad guy when I'm really the good guy. That's a good idea. Someone said the dragon from Dragon's Lair. Aren't they doing a live action movie with that now, I think?
Do you want to draw a dragon today?
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Actually, what I'm going to do is a lot of work too, but I think I can pull it off. Dragon might be a little, I do like dragons though. I didn't thought of that. Marcus Killigrew here, purveyor of all things pop culture knowledge. Glitch. Now Glitch is across the pond and he's joining us. Based Art Department is here. Can't wait for one of these guys to wait a minute now. Can't wait for one of these guys to whip out some super niche new video game villain. Yeah. All you have to do is look at our age and you know that ain't happening. Still no Dan Lawless, by the way. There's that Japanese Baltan Saijin guy. The bosses from games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring are pretty cool. I think Aaron could do the Mega Man villains pretty well. If only I knew what any of that stuff meant. It's like I'm reading Latin, you know. There's Corey Landis, Lone Star Viper. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is almost always here. Alex Gordon is here. Snozhead joining us. That's great. Matt Watt. Of course, we read one of his earlier. Epoch 252 says, good evening, all. Thank you for joining us. Ignite is here. Best Age Comics, JS, Tippy Tail McKitty.
Are people changing their names, or are we getting people watching the show today that don't normally watch or not that often?
Well, what's happening is YouTube is going in and they've added a new feature that's sort of messing everything up, but it like adds numbers to your name and it changes some people's names. It's just very, very bizarre. It's very, how should we say, Skynet, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. Now here's a guy who's tried to change his name multiple times, but people always know it's him. Stan Lawless. Finally.
Well, not finally. I got a different camera. So this kind of sucks because I can't use my phone to put over my drawing table, so you can't see me draw.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe.
I mean to talk to you about that.
So this is without my good camera, right? You're looking at here.
Yeah. So you're kind of mysterious today.
Yeah, you don't have the colors and all the stuff you normally have behind.
That's just the iPhone I'm using. Usually it works and not working, so it sucks. But
I don't know.
Generally speaking, my iPhone, my camera I use, it's plugged in, but not working.
Oh, that's tragic. I want you to know, because full disclosure, that I did make fun of you a little bit before you came on, saying that 30 minutes before the show, you suggested we get Billy Tucci to come on the show. And I'm like, Dan, can you give me maybe a little lead time? A little.
Well, I saw him doing a live stream on it by himself. And I thought, oh, well, why does he just come on our show, So.
Well, I mean, I appreciate your last minute suggestions, but they're very difficult to implement. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
That's all I'm saying. But I did give him a shout out to his campaign while you were away. So anyway, okay. So
did you get through the list?
I'm getting there. Past Master Dan, we got Past Master Dan. There's Tippy Tail. John with the Geek Avengers here. Dan equals Boomer, says Geek Avenger. Then he says he's kidding. So that's kind of like passive aggressive, right?
It's accurate.
Bloody Drake says Gary's story was more entertaining than what?
The phone conversation.
Oh, the way more entertaining than what I actually produced for the Chris, of course, is encouraging me, saying they just got the card done with duct tape so they wouldn't have to work on the 4th. Well, I hope that's not the case. They're charging me good money. Test Chimp is here. He says, restart the stream. I don't know if that'll save anything at this point. Let's see who else we got in here. New Age Leper. Gary has more of a Lee Van Cleef look. I don't know. I think he has more.
That's true.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think he's got that Clint Eastwood.
I've heard that too.
Well, so just basically anybody that's been in a spaghetti western is you, right? So Daniel Russell's here. Pity Maw's here. Who am I? Did I miss anybody? Probably, but that's.
Did you get Matt Watt?
I did.
He says he's here every week. He doesn't talk. So Matt, I guarantee you, I will read whatever you say.
Oh my gosh, you shouldn't be putting that out there, Gary.
He doesn't talk at all, or just on the show?
He says he watches, but he doesn't.
I mean, is he taking a vow of silence, or?
Well, I mean, this is a good point. He says, I'm here every week, Gary. I don't talk because no one ever listens. So,
well, if I don't read his comment, then he might be assuming that.
That could be. Yeah. Maybe he thinks you're dissing him.
Hey, if no one ever listens to you, is that the equivalent of taking a vow of silence?
I think it is. It's kind of like the tree falling in the forest, right? If no one's there to hear it.
Hey.
Well, that's like thinking you're invisible, and people don't pay attention to you.
Fallen Low Life is here. Kale Razor, Kyle Miller, Hail y'all. Lopez Draw Big Daddy from BioShock. Does anybody know what that is? I have no clue.
No.
Sequential Artist for 10 says, greetings, Aaron and Graybirds in chat. Hoping all the difficulties only add to the entertainment today. Couldn't get any worse. By the way, who decided all the categories would be villains? That would be your good friend David Williams. He picked the categories this week.
Hold on a second. Matt Watt speaks up and says, thank you, Gary. Well, Matt, that was your one shot and you wasted it.
You get one red comment of a show. Is that it? Or
yeah, well, if that's the best comment you got, Matt, then that's probably all you're going to get read.
Get up an notch. Let's go. Get these comments going.
Okay. So let's do a little show and tell, shall we? David, what do you got? Anything?
I mean, maybe. I finished. I'm one more page closer to finishing Fearsome, but I don't know if I could show it. I mean, I should leave it to Ethan to show it. So,
okay.
So no.
Well, you know, Gary, are you going to auction anything today, by the way?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Do you want to preview it? Do you want to preview it?
Yeah.
All right. Let me go and see.
Okay, we'll move around the horn here and come back.
Move around and come back to me.
Yep. So, Gary, Saucy, what do you got here?
Oh, yeah. Here's a little.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Here's a little Frazetta recreation. I'd seen this piece. He did this a long time ago. And then I saw it again recently. I had completely forgotten about it. And you know what? I could recreate this. And I always like
letters page illustration. What was this for? Do you remember, Gary?
I think, yeah, it might have been. Yeah. He does a lot of like gray tones, you know, like this feathering here. It was gray toned, and it's like he mixes gray with black.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it's what I look at is like, yeah, I can do that. And sometimes I look at it and say, no, I can't do that. So this one I gave it a shot, like watered down some of the ink to get like some of these real soft feathering lines.
Put some dry brush in there.
Yeah, dry brush. So there's a lot of
beautiful.
Yeah, he does a lot of advanced techniques, so it keeps me on my toes. So this piece will go up for auction later.
That's going to be something else.
If we have time, I'll do this one as well.
Oh, the Barry Smith Conan.
Wow, yeah, beautiful. Barry Smith Conan. This is also on 11x17. So if we have time, I'll do. We'll auction off this bad boy.
Very nice.
And
very good.
While
I'm not done yet, folks.
I just wanted to flash something.
What?
Whoop. Hey now. Do I dare say I'm gonna
whip this out?
I didn't even see it. I didn't make it
do it again. Do it again.
Flash it again.
Flash it again.
Yeah. Oh
man.
Oh my goodness. That's
all you get. So I'm making progress on it.
Freaking A,
wow.
man. Awesome.
All right. So David's got his goods up. All right. So what do we got here?
He's still trying to get rid of my drawing.
Right.
Dan, you could buy it on the down low and you know
buy it back.
Yeah, buy it back.
So one of these things is going to go, or two, maybe.
At least one of these is going up. So we'll see how it goes. But okay, very nice.
Yeah, let the chat figure out which one they want.
That's right. They'll let you know by their cashola. Dan, what's this?
This is what I'm auctioning today. In the spirit of the Independence Day, we have Uncle Sam, which I believe I did on this show, right?
I think you did.
So it's pretty darn cool. So you can you don't want to miss this one.
Dan, what do you think of this? Of your
I think this is great. I'm great. I'm so wonderful. I'm an awesome person.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's Uncle Sam, so you know the wow factor is, you know, but this guy's forearms alone makes this piece spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
Just, I mean, come on. Those are Frazetta, you know, steel worker
But look at that fist.
Forearms.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you
Yep.
know, Uncle Sam originally, the Montgomery illustration, he wasn't that impressive. He kind of looked like an old guy, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And this guy is gonna kick ass.
Yeah, this guy's ready.
He's rolling up them sleeves.
Yep.
There should have been a Uncle Sam versus Popeye drawing. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I guess.
But would they fight though? They probably wouldn't
Isn't
fight.
Popeye American? He wouldn't.
Yeah,
Fight.
he wouldn't fight Uncle Sam, but
He'd be
those
fighting
forearms.
alongside him. Maybe
There you
Popeye
go.
and Uncle Sam fighting together somehow.
Yeah, with a bunch of Nazis laying, underneath
setting
them,
him up and
stars
the guy
coming.
knocking him down.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great. I love Uncle Sam. I am a big, big Uncle Sam fan. I'm just hinting I might bid on this. So
Oh, really?
Just
That's
throwing it out
actually a
there.
good concept. Like if Uncle Sam recruits like Popeye, other characters that are like that, it's almost like a Sinbad story, how he's getting all these people to go on this mission and stuff. That would be awesome.
Now, are you talking about Sinbad the comedian or
Yeah.
Yeah. That great American patriot.
Sinbad?
Post stroke.
Yeah.
That would be
Ooh,
awesome.
well, I guess I shouldn't be making Sinbad jokes, should I?
Yeah.
No, actually, that is a good idea. And you know what's funny is I had a pitch very similar to that to DC that one of my many pitches that got rejected. So we'll talk about that actually in a few minutes.
You pitched an Uncle Sam story to DC.
I did. Stealth X5 for $2 says video games are great. Are they though?
Well,
Or are they destroying our youth?
well,
Great time consumers, I'll tell you that.
His $2, I think, underscores his point more than an actual good argument.
Geek Avenger for $5. If Gary looks like Philo Beto, of course, that's the Clint Eastwood character from Any Which Way You Can, then Clyde, the orangutan, would be played by Tina McDonald. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Sounds about right.
That's pretty accurate.
And if people in the chat don't get the Tina McDonald reference, you should be watching the show more than you are. Geek Avenger says Uncle Sam needs a pet alligator. Now, is that referring to the new alligator prison down in Florida? I'm not sure.
Probably.
And then Sequential Artist for $2 says U.S. Steel.
Yeah, he's kind of got that, what do you call it, turn of the century or the Industrial Revolution kind of picture, that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more like this is America. We're going to tackle a problem. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
And
Roll
the
up
other
the
thing,
sleeves,
the other thing they have to mention, I always thought top hats were dorky. Like in the West, that somebody like some dude from the back East would wear a top hat and he'd always get beat up. But Uncle Sam is like rocking this hat. He's really, he's wearing it with authority, and
Yeah.
I might have to rethink the whole top hat thing.
Yeah. Well, they're great too because they always fall off in the fight, so you really like you're fighting.
Well, didn't Clint Eastwood have sort of a top hat kind of thing in Pale Rider?
No,
It was a sawed-off top hat kind of
I
thing.
know what you mean, but I know what you mean, but I wouldn't qualify.
What about
that?
that? Who's that? The musician, rock guy, Slash or something?
Oh yeah, Slash had the top hat. Yeah,
So he did that. He made it cool.
yeah.
Nothing he did was cool. Damn.
Oh, come on now.
What?
Rock and roll is always cool. Ask the chicks.
I'm sorry.
What if Uncle Sam did a duet with James Brown, "Living in America"? Says Randy Howell, guy from Canada, is suggesting that. I think that's a setup if I ever saw one.
A friend of mine went to school with Slash.
Really?
With Uncle Sam?
No, Slash. He went to school with Slash.
Oh. No. Okay.
Was he? I must have been a pretty heavy rocker in high school.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, thanks for bringing that story up, David. Appreciate it.
Yeah, very short story.
I'm now going to mute you.
I didn't go to school with him. I said my friend did.
Well, I was looking for a bigger payoff. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So So we're going to do an auction at around 4 o'clock, which would be 7 o'clock Eastern time. So let's get drawing. David, what?
Sorry.
So my question, of course, is one that I ask every week, but I always know the answer. What are you going to draw, David?
You don't know yet.
He's not saying.
I'm going to draw Venom from Marvel Rivals.
Who?
Venom.
Oh, Venom. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew you were going to go. I knew you were going to go Marvel or DC villain. So I knew that you had an out built into this. Before we get to our good friend Dan Lawless, let me show this real quick. So I did finish this from last week, and I added Bluto. So that was my vision of what this would look like.
Adding Bluto really works. It puts it together. Yeah.
How do you know that Bluto or Brutus?
No, it's Bluto, isn't it?
Bluto. Aaron, what does Bluto intend to do with his hands?
Oh, he's going to grab some hot buns, I think.
Yeah, and she's actually got buns to grab.
You got more cakes than Duncan Hines.
That's right. Okay. So anyway, no, wait a minute. Matt Watts says that doesn't count. David Venom is a hero in that game. I don't know. Is David breaking his own rules and cheating? We'll see.
Matt, you're pushing it. You're getting more than one comment read.
Hey, Venom killed people, so he's always a villain.
There you go. Just like the Punisher, right? The Punisher's always a villain. And there's silence. So many people don't agree with that. I don't
We're
know.
all thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, he's a hero. He always gets the bad guys and kills them.
Well, he's just not as bad as everybody else. Does that make him a good guy?
Well, I don't know.
He's killing the bad guys.
Well, he started off. Well, hang on. He started off as a villain in Spider-Man, and then became sort of an anti-hero, and now I guess he's more of a hero.
Yeah, but he still kills people, though.
Well, didn't they take his gun away?
But
I don't
know. Dan's like, well, sure, he kills people, but
they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Okay, your definition of bad is very gray.
No, the bad guys he fights are really bad. They're horrible.
Yeah, but
beings that need to be killed because they're criminal. Absolutely.
Yeah, but Dan, bad is a sliding scale.
I don't know. His bad guys are bad. If you read the original ones, there's no wiggle room there. They're bad.
Okay, Dan, I have one question for you. Are his bad guys? What are they?
They're not good.
Okay.
The opposite of good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Dan, what are you thinking of drawing here?
I'm going to draw Sephiroth from Final Fantasy.
Who?
That sounds exciting. I don't know who that is.
Sephiroth or whatever. It's apparently it's a pretty cool villain, and because I really people are tuning in for people are tuning in for this.
Hold on, Dan. What do you mean? Apparently, he's pretty cool.
I don't know much about the character.
The kids in your neighborhood said, "Hey, Dan, he's cool."
No, people on X said this guy's pretty cool, so I'm taking their word for it.
Oh gosh, this is too good. All right, I'm going to go really old school. Someone recommended this to me, and I kind of laughed, and I said, "I'm not drawing that." Then I went, "You know what? Yeah, I am going to draw it. I'm drawing Donkey Kong, baby. That's what I'm drawing." Mm-hmm. And we'll put a little modern twist.
Someone's drawing Bowser.
Bowser?
Yeah, from Mario Kart.
I don't know who that is.
He's a good villain.
It's not too late for you to change. Why are you suggesting that?
I just thought one of you guys was going to do Bowser.
No, I'm doing Donkey Kong's the bad guy, right?
I only think of
I don't
Shauna
know.
Na when you say that name.
What was that, David?
I said I only think of Shauna Na when you say that name, Bowser.
Oh, Bowser.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Katie
Yep.
did showed up. Hello, Graybeard.
Hey, Katie.
Hi, Aaron. Well, no, wait a minute. So is she separating me from the Graybeard? So she goes capital letters Graybeard, but then lowercase Aaron. So she's not only is she separating me from the Graybeards, then she's like undermining my importance to the show by then.
It's like, hello, Graybeards. Hi,
No, I don't
Aaron.
think she's doing that at all.
No,
I think she's finally pointing out or verbalizing what everybody is thinking. Aaron, we are all Graybeards. You're a Whitebeard.
It's like, so I don't.
But she did even capitalize Aaron. That's got to be.
I know.
That does
You're
not
not
look
a
good.
Graybeard anymore.
That can't
Aaron.
be good. That can't be good.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't even fit it on my own show anymore. Okay, I guess I'll just not do it anymore. I guess that's how it's going to be. Leg Kick for 5 says you could do Madriero's Battle Chasers. Oh, they did a video game about that, didn't they? I guess. So I've been told. Geek Avenger says there's plenty of reference material for Sephiroth.
There is. I found it. So.
Okay.
Apparently, that's a cool character.
Apparently,
right here.
scared half to death. Remember the apparently kid?
Apparently,
when the newscaster interviewed this little kid, it sounded like W.C. Fields when he's talking about his ride experience, and I'm scared half to death. That's exactly what he said. It was so funny. The reporter too is cracking up. She's just, she can't hold it together. Is the way this kid talks,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh man, I wish
I do know what you're talking about.
I wonder if I could find it.
Yeah, like help expand the quality of the show, Dan, with video clips.
Okay.
A Graybeard Studio, come for the art and comedy, stay for the philosophy. Today's topic: what is a villain? That's right. We dig deep. Thank you for that 5. Appreciate that. Terror Movie Trailers is here. Okay, there you go. So Katie is actually just admitting the truth finally, that she's got it out for me, and that's fine. At least I can see it coming now. You know what I mean?
No, she's confirming what I said.
What did you say? I wasn't listening.
That you're not a Graybeard anymore.
Oh, because of the white beard? Okay.
You're a Whitebeard.
See, and look at Deb Koth-Schnelly. Aaron is important. See, this
question mark.
All right, let's see if this works. See if you can hear him.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
What did you think about the ride?
It was great. And apparently, I've never been on live television before, but apparently sometimes I don't watch I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, and apparently Grandpa just gives me a remote after we watch the Powerball.
Tell me about the ride. What did you think about the ride?
Well, it was great.
Why?
Because apparently you're spinning around, and apparently every time you get dizzy, that's all you do is get dizzy. Yeah. And I've never ever been on live television. I never ever be on live television.
Are you excited?
Yeah, and apparently I only went down the super slide. When I went down the one, I was scared half to death. I just freaked
Oh, okay.
He's saying apparently on something that he actually did.
Pause it for a minute, Dan, just to protect us for a second here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's not a kid. That's got to be a midget.
he's 65.
Yeah, he's
70.
way too smart to be a little kid.
Apparently.
How do you spell his last name?
Ritter, R-I-T-T-E-R.
Okay, and where are you guys from?
Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre. All right, buddy.
All right, that's it.
That kid's great.
Awesome. And this is a long time ago. So this kid's probably, in college now, I'm sure,
Randy Howell for 5 says, for those watching on X, all the campaign plus website links and contact info for these 4 gents are in the replies to the post. Thank you for that, Randy. Also, there are links in the description of this video that will take you to all of our campaigns. Dan's website. We'll take a look at those as we go along today.
Thank you, Randy.
But thank you for that, Randy. Geek says, time to go. I'm sorry. For $5. Thank you, Geek. Time to square off against the Balrog, Aaron. See? I don't even know what that means.
Balrog is from the Lord of the Rings, you know.
Oh, is that big demon thing that he says that you shall not pass?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
I didn't
Dan,
know that
knows
was.
stuff. Dan knows stuff.
Well, I know Lord of the Rings, that's for sure.
Hey,
Apparently, I know.
Daniel Russell wrote me, and so he's the guy who owns this, and I'm going to ship it to him, but I need you to send me your address again. So write to me on X or Instagram, and I'll ship this out as soon as possible.
Or Daniel, if you get confused, send it to me.
Daniel.
And I'll get it to him.
Yeah, David, did you vet Daniel? I mean, just because he claims he bought that.
It sounds familiar, so yes.
Okay.
No, Daniel has bought several pieces from me. He's a stand-up guy. I don't think that he would be manipulating David in any way to get free artwork. So
well, yeah, Daniel's he's a past client. He's a good guy, but still
temptation. You're right. All right, so let's get going, guys. We've got an hour and 45 minutes to pull, or hour and 15 minutes to pull this off.
Okay, so chat, that means that the suggestions for what to draw has come to a close. Please, for God's sakes, stop suggesting characters.
Unfortunately, I gotta be just to be an avatar this time, because I am going over to that drawing table over there.
Oh, you're just going to just put up a screenshot, and we won't see you again.
I'll pop in every now and then and show you what I'm drawing.
Okay.
If I had known I was going to have camera problems, I would have drawn it ahead of time.
You can just hold it up.
Does that mean you're not going to be talking?
Oh, I'm talking.
Let me translate that, David. Let me translate that. Oh, I'm talking.
It doesn't sound like he wants me to talk the way he said that. Just it sounded hopeful in his voice. You mean you might not talk?
I think I don't know. I think too many people are hanging around Katie did too much, and it's starting to rub off. That sort of sarcastic sort of.
No, I think Katie just brought sarcasm to a higher level art form. It was always there.
Yeah, I think she learned it from us.
Well, I think Gary's right. She certainly perfected it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't get any respect from the beginning. I don't think Katie started that.
No, she's just emphasizing it. Whatever, liar. Wow. No, she's calling me a liar and yelling it at me. Like, it's like I walk by her house on the sidewalk and she's on the porch yelling at me.
Well, that's why she has it out for you, is because you've been stalking her. What are you doing in her neighborhood walking by her house?
No. I said it's like I was.
Okay.
She's got to yell because we're graybeards and we can't hear.
Well, there may be that too.
I read that as you didn't see anything wrong with you repeatedly walking by her house.
Okay, first of all, I didn't say repeatedly. I said it's like me walking by her house on the sidewalk.
Well, I assume it's repeatedly because it's gotten to the point where she's on her porch yelling at you.
You're just creating this scenario that I don't think that is necessarily true.
Katie's threatening to snip you again, Aaron.
I'm not sure what that means either. Making me uneasy. Of course, she has like $2,000.
Okay, see, hold on a second. Trying here is suggesting several characters to draw. Didn't I make it clear? That deadline has come and gone. They're already drawing.
Oh man! All right.
Oh, okay. So maybe suggesting that you guys draw these characters in your spare time for fun.
Oh, and I mean, I actually do draw a little for fun in my spare time, but generally I draw what I want to draw.
Well, that's because, yeah, Aaron, that's because you're a mutant.
Yeah, well, okay. So do you guys want to hear my Uncle Sam pitch?
Yes.
That got turned
Sure.
down by DC Comics. I know
Yes.
Dan does.
I do.
To hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna play DC editor
so-
here.
Okay.
So,
all right,
young Mr. Lepresti, we hear you have a pitch for us.
What do you got?
All right. Well, here's what I was thinking. I'm thinking, okay, picture this. You open, the story opens with Uncle Sam up in the ether with the.
Okay, we're done with this meeting.
Yeah, you're fired.
Uncle Sam, are you kidding? Get out of here, you punk!
So the name of the thing is called Justice League, the Odd Squad. So it's like a Justice League book, but it's
you're not helping your case with that title.
Okay. Now wait a minute. Just let me get it out.
I'm sorry. Okay, I will not interrupt you again.
Man, you are. This is why DC does not have good books, because they won't even listen to the pitch before they're like trying to usher you out the door.
That's true.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, Gary, put Katie in timeout. That's the last straw right there.
What
Now,
did you say?
I didn't think I'd ever do this to Katie, but there it is.
Katie, what you're asking is physically impossible.
Well, maybe not right now.
Is it more of a
Are you
revenge
okay? So
thing?
are you saying like sometime in the future when we
Right.
have our
If you
paths
see him in
cross?
person,
All right. Can I finish my pitch, please? Can I at least get
Sorry.
like 5 minutes to pitch this to you, and then see what you
It better be good.
You'll never work here.
All this
again.
build up, yeah.
All right. So it takes place in 1968. You got all the hippies, rebelling, anti-war stuff, anti-government, and Uncle Sam is up there because he's one of those guys called that, like the Spectre's one of them, the Phantom Stranger's one of them, the blue guy, the Green Lantern dude is one of them.
I'm glad to hear that you're so familiar with the
Well, I
characters
was
here
when
at
I-
DC.
I was when I originally wrote this. So anyway, so we'll say Uncle Sam is up there too with these guys, and he's talking to the Spectre because I always wanted to draw the Spectre, and he's saying, I got to go down there and do something. I'm going to, and the Spectre's like lecturing about don't get involved. We're here to, observe and all this kind of stuff. But he doesn't listen because he can't stand that America is being torn apart in the 60s like it is. And so he's seeing the disrespect for the Justice League, for the heroes, for the government, everything from these hippies. And so he goes down and starts collecting what he considers to be a group of heroes that more represent the common man, the outcast, the ones that are thrown to the side. So he ends up with the Creeper, Plastic Man, the Dolphin, who's this chick in cut off blue jeans that swims.
That's the one that Dave Stevens made famous.
Yeah, Angel and the Ape, and that doll guy. What was his name? He had the record for lasting 2 issues before he got canceled. What was his name? The Geek, Brother Power the Geek.
Oh, the Geek, yeah.
So he puts this team together, and they're just a complete disaster. And
Kind of like this.
Buddy Calypso is working behind the scenes, and he steals an atomic weapon because he wants to create a nuclear winter so that he will always be in his Eclipso form. And so basically the sun will be hidden. And so they have to stop Eclipso, and adventure and hijinks, from there.
Abound.
Aaron, I know exactly why they didn't greenlight this project. because you're proposing a project of past failed DC characters.
That's exactly right.
Let's put them all in one book. Great idea.
No, wait a minute. Marvel did that all the time with like the Champions, and look at all those groovy teams they put together with like all their reject characters that they didn't have in a monthly book.
Yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, but DC ain't no Marvel.
But there's this great struggle where they're outcasts, and the Justice League is trying to shut them down, and they're forging ahead with all these problems, and they eventually end up being a cohesive team that defeats the plans of Eclipso, and they win the day.
All you just have one piece of the puzzle missing.
Yeah.
Just get John Romita to draw it, and we'll say, yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, okay. There's certainly there's some lack of star power, but I think the story is.
I forgot that this is your project. You're pitching it, so you would be drawing it.
Yeah, I'd be drawing it, and
I completely forgot that. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to. Never
I'm
mind.
just going to call you Katie from now on, Gary.
Yeah,
okay?
No, that was a slip. It's like suddenly occurred to me. Wait a minute, this is Aaron's proposal. He's going to be drawing it.
Look at this. Skullmasher says the Champions were awesome, unlike this crap. Sleeping Psychopathy. I think that Aaron is a star, and she is like a young lady. She's like 27 or 28. So there you go.
Aaron,
I have reached the young generation.
She's yelling it.
Well, because she wants to be heard. She's like those hippies from the 60s. She wants to be heard. So I don't know. I think it's brilliant. But, that's just me. What do I know? I don't remember all the details because it's been a while.
Hold on a second. Beowulf 13 keeps suggesting the same 6 characters. We're an hour into the show.
Oh no! Look at this! Look at this!
I was just going to read that
at my local comic book shop. I was so excited. This is interesting because I did the original Wraith of God. There was about 5 or 6 retailers that reached out to me and bought copies for their stores.
So she was in one of the 5 or 6?
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
Wow, that's yeah. You realize you just wasted like really good luck on something that will get you nothing. Are you regretting not buying that lottery ticket? Do you ever think about that? That's like if some miracle, odd beater happens, but it's some mundane thing. I went to a concert at the Arlene Schnitzer. This was years ago.
This is a performing arts center in auditorium in Portland.
Right. Where they have, classical music and highbrow, junk like that.
Oh.
So we got there a little bit late. And so people were crowding, trying to get in the door. There were a lot of people trying to funnel in this, small entrance because the performance was going to start in about 10 minutes. Mm. And while we're, shoulder to shoulder with all these people, someone said, "Hey, hi." And we turned, and it was a couple that we knew that used to go to our church several years ago that moved, but they came back to visit someone and just happened to catch the show. So it's like, "Oh, hi, how you doing? Haven't seen you for a long time. What's going on?" So they, we were catching up as we're kind of feeding into the theater. And the way the crowd was pushing, okay, Dan is showing his
progress report.
So he's actually drawing. That's proof. So we get fed into the theater and we get separated. It takes us a few minutes to get down to our seats. We sit down and I'm looking around and it's sold out. It's packed. You know, there wasn't an empty seat in the theater except the 2 seats next to us were empty. Guess who showed up and sat down in those seats? Our friends that we met
It's an ice cream truck.
As we're coming into the theater. And it's like they bought their tickets like a month before we did. And they happened to have the seats next to us. Now, what are the odds? Boy, I was mad. Why couldn't I have been in Las Vegas yanking on a slot machine?
Hang on now. What? Would you just...
What?
Yeah, you heard me right.
It's not that type of show, G.
Those odds don't come around. And it was completely wasted on these people.
It's incredible. So you're basically what you're saying then, Gary, is that is akin to someone walking in a comic shop and seeing Wraith of God on the shelf.
Exactly. Wasted wasted good fortune.
Oh my goodness. Unless you've read the book, because then you say, you know, I really lucked out today because this book is really good. I mean, that's what I would say if I saw it.
Okay, if you had to choose reading your I know what you're going to say. Reading your comic or winning the lottery, choose wisely.
Well, how much am I winning?
Maybe I should ask Sleeping what she would choose.
Well, I don't think you want to encourage her to say bad things about me. That's what Katie's job is.
Okay, hold on. She says, she's laughing. She says, I already picked up the book on your Carter campaign. So she already had a copy. So it was, yeah. Those odds were completely wasted because she already had one.
Oh man. So she didn't even get to like buy it from the shop. Oh, that's terrible. But exciting at the same time, I think. Maybe not as exciting as winning the lottery. I get that, but you know.
It is a highly unlikely event. So that in itself is worth telling.
Well, and here's the sad thing about it is these guys never reordered like the second issue or anything. So my guess is that the $25 price tag probably a little steep for comic shop buyers.
Well, that's what she's saying. Is her money went directly to you, didn't get, you know. And okay, Beowulf. Someone suggesting is like asking if Dan is drawing Sinbad, and so he says Sinbad. Is there even any Sinbad video games? So he's still.
It's a little bit behind right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, see, but everything that I was saying is based on the scenario that you can kind of control when good luck comes around. It's like, let's go to Las Vegas right away. You know, I realize it doesn't work like that, but I just think of, you know, highly unlikely events that don't pay my trip to Fiji.
Well, I've never been a gambler because it's like I always say, I work too hard for my money. I don't want to throw it away.
That's what I think. It's like, oh, it would kill me to watch that money go away when you know exactly how many hours you put in to make it.
Yep, I agree.
By the way,
Sleeping, if I played blackjack, I would get destroyed.
By the way, I did go to, well, not to the Garden State Comic Con, but to the after party, Graham's after party. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Really
tell
neat.
us about that.
That was the
Well, it's weird to meet people. Like I remember the first time I met John Malin at Motor City Comic Con. And you know how you talk to each other here online? You don't really like look at each other, you're kind of looking at the person's side view or 3/4 view. And then you see them, they're looking right in you like, like it's kind of a little bit disorienting for a second. But
were you saying you're sizing them up?
An actual person is different.
Yeah, I'm just saying when they're looking at your face, when they look at you and they're making eye contact with you when you see them, it's really weird,
Look away, I'm hideous.
It's a different experience.
Oh man. Oh,
and it is funny, actually. Speaking of that, it is fun to see just how tall or short people are. You see who.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because you kind of imagine based
on their head size in proportion to their body, you kind of guess how tall they are.
Yeah, like I always thought, when I first saw Graham Nolan online, I thought this guy's got to be like 6'2". He's just a mountain of a man.
Yeah,
he's just my height. He's only my height. I mean, he's in super great shape, but he's not really that tall.
People are always stunned when they, Gary's like taller than me, but people are stunned when they, geez, I didn't know you were that tall. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm huge, gigantic. So
is that what you told him?
Right. So, yeah.
Yep.
In those words.
I'm gigantic.
So I met Andy Smith and Dennis Turner, the choreograph, people.
Yes.
And of course Billy Tucci.
Yeah.
Who's essentially, a walking party. He was a lot of fun.
He's a wee lad though too.
He's not that big, yeah, but his personality is so big that he just seems to be bigger.
Well, I wouldn't mess with Billy because Billy knows how to kill people, and I wouldn't want to mess with that.
Why does he kill people before?
Well, he's like a
ex-military,
a ranger, ex-army ranger or marine or whatever the heck he was.
Yeah,
an elite fighting machine, and he knows how to choke people out.
Yeah, and I met Ethan, of course. He was there.
So it's like you mentioned like people's height. Now that's the theme in the chat now. Everybody's saying how tall they are. How do we know?
They could be lying.
I know. Yeah. How do we know that somebody claims to be 6 foot tall?
Why would they lie?
Dreams, or are you actually?
It's like Hollywood people, right? If a guy says, yeah, that actor's 6'2", you go, okay, he's probably 6 foot. He says he's 6'4", he's probably 6'2". It's just people.
We always
did
you do
that.
this
and
like in
the
stats for like preseason basketball for the program? They want height and weight and all that stuff. We'd always lie.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because this guy who played basketball at Oregon State, he's now the color commentator for Portland Trailblazers television, and I got my son a lot of private coaching when he was growing up because he started playing basketball really late. He's like in junior high going, Dad, I want to play basketball. And I'm like, you're telling me this now? So I had to get him up to speed pretty quickly. And so I remember talking to him, and he was a little bit taller than me, but not much, right? And I was, 6'2". And so I said to him right to his face, I go, how tall are you? And he goes, 6'4". I go, you're not 6'4". I go, I'm 6'2", and you're barely taller. I'm like, why do you guys always lie about your height? And he's like, hey, man. He goes, you're taller than you think you are, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when you put it down in the program, how tall you are, that's the number that sticks with you. And you have to, repeat that number pretty much the rest of your life.
Yep. You got to stick with it, even if it ain't true.
By the way, the other two people that I met was Luis and Walt Simonson.
Oh, they were there?
Yeah. And I'd never met them before. And I mean, I didn't really talk to them much, but it's what happened was they're standing out at this, backyard patio party, and everyone just sort of surrounded them in a semicircle.
Sure.
And they just told stories, and they were talking about stuff, and I got a chance to shake their hands and all that kind of thing. But it was really, really nice. They're super nice, of course, and it just major talents.
Yeah, they let me stay at their house twice, so they got to be nice. They're gonna do that.
That'll
There's proof.
Yeah, the twice part is really the key to that.
Yeah.
Once be like, he let me stay at their house once and be like,
hey,
twice,
we're not doing that again.
They're really nice.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that again.
While there's a lull, I'm going to read this list I came across the other day.
Okay.
5 deadly terms used by women.
5 deadly terms used by women. Okay.
Yep. Number 1, fine.
Wow, that is.
This is the word women use to end an argument when she knows she's right and you need to shut up.
Yeah, I think that's
Number 2, nothing. It means something, and you need to be worried.
It does mean something.
Number 3, go ahead. This is a dare.
Yeah,
not
it is.
permission. Don't do it.
Yes.
Okay. Number 4, whatever.
Okay.
A woman's way of saying screw you. And number 5, that's okay. She is thinking long and hard on how and when you will pay for your mistake.
That one's not as bad though. The others.
I can't disagree with anything you said right there. Based art department for $5. Thank you, sir. It was cool to meet Dan at the party. I heard in passing he would be there, and Quick made him 2 engraved metal art cards. He was super nice. Yeah. Wow.
That was really cool. I got the cash grab made, and the frost giant stuff, the one that I drew for David to ink.
Am I reading into this comment, based art department? After your description of your encounter with Dan, you state he was super nice. So are you saying you didn't think he was going to be nice, and you're surprised? Dan, I'm not asking your opinion. It's just like, if I was Aaron and this was about Aaron, I would be suspicious that he concludes his statement with he was super nice.
Yeah, I was stunned.
I guess there's always a question. Maybe, secretly an asshole, you never know.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Glitch is saying that I missed a super chat.
Okay, let's see.
I met John Malin's Wolf Pack. He had his whole crew of guys. They all had T-shirts, and they were just a lot of fun. They're really nice. I don't think Ben was one of the Wolf Pack guys, but
Glitch for £2. That's what they use in jolly old England. Does Dan have enough paper for Sephiroth's sword?
I do.
I want you guys to be like, you guys pick on me whenever I screw up, like the tiniest detail, or you forgot they didn't do the sword right. You guys better be on top of him for this.
Well, I had a pretty bad flub on Ethan's show where I did the wrong number of fingers and toes for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
that was almost unforgivable.
Well, you saw they got on me for those not doing the swords right. Jeez.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got this.
But
I'll have to drive
it's not as bad as digits.
It isn't. It isn't.
But thanks to I made a quick phone call to David while we were waiting for the auction to start, and like trying to figure out how I could fix the piece, because the how these turtle fans are, and so David said, just draw a staff in the background, and then say that Donatello dropped his staff and picked up the guy he was fighting, picked up his weapons so he could kill him with his own weapons. I said, that's an excellent story.
That was a brilliant pivot move.
Yeah, David is, he's the master storyteller.
That's right. And he approved my Uncle Sam's story. So I don't know what your problem is.
Oh, did I?
A master storyteller is all on board with my Uncle Sam's story. Look at that.
All right.
Yeah, this sword's going to be tough to fit in. That's
always problematic when you're drawing a character with a sword.
Well, this one, you don't know. This one is like 8 feet long.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you draw like Hawkman or something. It's like you want to draw a big figure, but then you're like, I got no place to put the wings.
Right.
So what's more important, the figure or just the wings? You got to think the figure is right, but these people, if you blow it on the sword, man, you're going to pay. You know how it goes.
Billy Tucci is asking, Aaron, have you ever played any video games?
Other than Pong and Space Invaders, and
those don't count.
What's the eating one? Pac-Man?
That doesn't count either.
I got pretty good at Pac-Man. Why
are you dismissing those? Why are you dismissing those, G? Why are you dismissing those classes?
Okay, Billy, do those games count? We'll let Billy decide.
Billy should come in here.
I know. I'm going to send him a link right now, Billy. I'm going to send a link to you on.
Billy says yes, so I stand corrected.
He's closing out Great Gate Crashers today. So.
He is indeed. So Billy, I'm going to send you a link. If you don't come on, I understand you're kind of a wimp, but
see, I thought you were going to take the high road there, Aaron.
Why would I do that, Gary? At what point?
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know.
If he thinks he's too cool for us.
Yeah, well, Billy always thinks that. He is the teen sensation. So there we go. All right, Billy, I just posted a link to the show in your Twitter messages. So
it sounds like an insult. In yours.
And you can come on and, hawk your wares, so to speak.
And torture Aaron.
Mm-hmm. Which Billy does quite frequently. I'm a victim. I really am. I'm just...
what is it about you? What's the story there?
I don't know what it is. It's
magical quality you have that...
Yeah, you see, the problem is, Dan, when you're nice to everybody, eventually they just get sick of it and they want to hurt you. It's the way it is. Nice guys finish last. You know the old saying.
But they don't do that to me.
Well, not yet. It takes
okay.
time. It takes time for this to take hold.
Yeah, where's John Beatty?
Yeah, where is John Beatty?
Speaking of insults and
ruining the show, where's he at?
When he comes on, he usually comes on later.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be, subjected to the whole thing.
Yeah, all of our nonsense.
Glitch says Aaron is the Walter White of comics. It's all about him.
It is Glitch. To be fair, it is his show, which he is constantly reminding me in the green room. Gary.
He's right. The fans own the show.
If I said it once, I've said it 100 times.
Apparently, he owns the show.
You know, I was I mentioned this before. I was looking back on some of the early episodes, and it was just me and David, you know. And this when the show was a competition, and it was like I got to a point like every week I would like embarrass David, and then if we got to get some other people on here, so the focus isn't always on me beating David, you know.
Is this true, David? Or are you going to?
Well, see, no, this is what
happens.
This is what happens when you lay awake at night replaying the show in your head. And you create this narrative that no one else sees.
Even though there's video evidence to the contrary.
Right.
Well, I mean, honestly, who's going to go back and, watch a video from like 3 years?
By the time you go to sleep, you're telling yourself, clearly, everyone knows that I kicked David's keister.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure Katie did probably got some clips from those times. And stuff.
Okay, don't encourage her. Don't encourage her.
She has them as ammo.
Yeah.
Those are going to start cropping up now.
Yeah, Katie, in your spare time.
Yeah, for fun. Wouldn't it be fun?
For fun, it would, yeah.
Oh.
Katie's got one of the toughest jobs. She's got to listen to so many rotten shows, to try to get interesting stuff. Not ours, I mean,
Well, I was going to say, Dave, what exactly are you saying here, Dan?
I'm going to read this. I'm not exactly sure what it means. Dan, help me out. Creative Faye is saying, you're special, short bus wise, Dan, but is why people aren't mean. Okay, let me read it again. You're special, short bus wise, Dan. That is why people aren't mean.
Oh, I get it. She thinks I'm retarded.
I think that's where she's going with that. That's exactly what I would think that she's saying. That's not very nice.
That's accurate.
Well, okay, but yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Dan's been asking for, insults, and there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I really,
that's true.
That's true.
Point,
you gotta just demand it at a certain point.
That's true.
You are going to insult me, and that's it. Things have gotten really.
Colin says Aaron's the guy who thinks of the comeback an hour later, but in his mind he said it at the right time.
Yeah,
I like that. That's something I relate to.
Boy, I zinged him.
6 hours later. Yeah. No, I will say this about the early episodes with me and David. I will concede the Silver Surfer episode because I did get my butt kicked.
Here we go.
That's the only one that I'm going to concede.
I think I know the Silver Surfer that you're talking about too. That was so cool.
Yeah, David did a really nice job, and he did well. Maybe the Black Bolt episode too, but that was closer. Captain America, though, I crushed you, and you just won't admit it.
Wait, didn't you buy my Captain America?
Yeah, but
okay, that's
hold
3.
On.
Well,
did I buy yours?
No, but somebody else did. So I felt, like pay it forward. Is that what they call it? Stealth X5 for $2. Pineapple, cherries, tomato. Now, actually, I like tomatoes. A lot of people don't, which I don't really understand. But steak, that's always good. Ham, cheeseburger, bacon. We can put the bacon on the cheeseburger. French fries. He throws lettuce in there for a little bit of salad, a little green. That's you can combine the tomato and the lettuce, but then he ruins it with cucumbers. The only way I'll eat a cucumber is if it's a pickle. I don't like cucumbers.
To follow up, Rand Arrington says, now I know what pure fairy tale DW got tired of beating AA Ron.
Okay, Gary, now try it in English.
Okay.
Yeah. English,
Read along with
when you
me.
speak it.
Now I know that pure fairy tale. DW got tired of beating Aaron.
Okay, thank you. There. Yeah, there's nothing worse than when the chat starts going down revisionist history lane. You know, I'm giving you guys the facts as they happened, and you're just not accepting the truth.
Aaron, he let you win.
Also, Kang was very, very close. Kang the Conqueror was very close. David, of course, did a very nice one, but mine was in color. So
Mine was in color too. I used black and white.
those are values, I think. So yeah, I mean, it was David. See, David always wanted to do superheroes because that's like his, as the kids say, his jam.
Aaron, I've kind of noticed you've been doing that a lot lately. Quoting what you think the kids are saying.
You know, I hang around young folk. They're
okay. Is that
tuned in.
Do their parents know you're doing this?
Oh.
I meant my kids. Okay?
Okay. That's like saying I love children, and that's, you know, like a nice safe statement. But if you get specific and say I love 10-year-olds,
Shit,
that's completely different.
They're gonna clip that. They're gonna clip that. G.
Oh yeah, you don't never say that.
Yeah, you just got clipped, Gary. Okay, so let me throw out this kind of bizarre story. I'm not going to tell you who it was because I don't want to put out any insinuations if I'm reading the room wrong. But so I was talking to this artist many moons ago, and I was trying to talk to him about, you know, working together on something, and this was at San Diego, and there was this young couple there, and they had a couple of kids, and the kids were running around and playing and stuff in the lobby of the hotel. And as I'm trying to talk to this guy about this project, he's taking photographs of the kids constantly and talking about how much, oh, I love kids and aren't they great and blah. And
these
and
okay, hold on a second. These aren't his kids?
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
And I thought it was very, very peculiar.
I'll say.
And he was very distracted as I was trying to, you know, it's like, come on, can you focus on what we're talking about here? And he just would not quit taking pictures of the kids.
So you said this guy was an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was thinking of a writer that we all know.
No,
and some of us have worked with.
What would be your takeaway from that?
No, I agree. That's disturbing.
Red flags.
Yep.
That
so
was
he's okay. So he's saying I love kids while he's taking the picture of these strangers' children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy with a capital creep.
Yeah. And that's why when I've run into this guy at shows and stuff, I've never sort of felt the same about him or his artwork after that experience.
Okay. Yeah, the chat is calling.
I know he's not married. I know that. So.
Okay, see, that doesn't help this case.
No.
Glitch says, shall we change the topic, please?
Good idea. I know. I wanted to see if it was me or if actually maybe that was weird to everybody else. Okay, so we've done that. Let's move on to.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, David.
Hey, look, it's Tucci.
Oh, Billy.
Am I in?
Yes.
You're in.
Am I broken up?
No, you're good.
All the way.
Something's going on with my with this screen here. Hello, everybody. Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Aaron, and that was incompetence. That conversation, the San Diego conversation. You know, I thought that. You know,
I didn't see you just outed yourself. I didn't mention your name.
Oh, and I was talking about goats. If you remember, we just bought a goat farm, and we have a little farm, and we had, you know, goats and chicks. So I was talking about chicks and kids, you know.
Okay,
I wasn't talking about, you know, humans.
Well, maybe
that would be weird.
Yeah, maybe I misread the situation. I apologize.
That does remind me of an interesting convention story. I was at Motor City Comic Con, and I went to the I was a guest, and I went to the lunch room, whatever. And I saw this, you know, older guy, just kind of long haired, but sitting by himself, you know. I said, well, I'm going to go sit there. He's got nobody else to sit to. And so I sat down and I started talking to him, and, you know, what kind of work do you do? What kind of comics? And he's like, I do animal pornography. And you know those guys. Okay. So I'm thinking now, I wish someone had a camera on me at that point, because my face was just
it's like, oh, what? Oh, somebody's calling me.
No, there was no reaction. I didn't react at all, but I was just like, I'm thinking, oh my God, how can I get out of this? How can I get
a lot
away?
of freaks out there, man. A lot of freaks.
I know. So anyways, I sat there and I ate my sandwich as fast as I could, and I got out of there.
Dan, that's why you don't sit next to anybody that you don't know.
I mean, he was nice enough guy, but it's just like,
especially in this industry, man.
Oh my gosh.
So Comic-Con is a magnet for, you know, odd characters.
Yes.
Same with animators. Animators are weird too, man. I had a guy at San Diego come up to me, and he was like a Simpsons artist or animator or whatever, worked on the show. And he hands me this stack of stuff, and he goes, hey, man, what do you think of this? And I flip through it, and it's all the Simpsons engaged in pornographic activity.
That's kind of funny, actually.
And I looked at the guy and I said, why are you showing me this? What makes you think that I want to see this kind of thing? And he was like, really? Oh, sorry, I didn't, you know. And I'm like,
you sick bastard, you.
What the heck, man?
Yeah.
I think that they do that just to see, you know, what kind of reaction they get.
Well, he got one,
and they go from there.
Yeah, he was looking for like a partner for the evening or something.
Yeah, I know. He's like, you want to be my colorist?
They can tell by the reaction. So
Based art department for $5 says, hey, Billy, another metal card recipient. How many of you guys are going to be there next year? I got to fire up my machine for more cards.
A metal card recipient? What did he say?
Did you get a metal trading card from this dude?
Yeah, from Ben. Remember at the convention?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, Billy used it.
He did
line of cocaine, and he forgot.
Did you get one? Or you weren't there? Dan, did you? Well, Dan, you weren't there at the show either. Did he give you?
I wasn't at the show, but he gave me a couple of cards after at the the party. You know. So I got.
Dan, how did you just show up? All of a sudden, you were there. Well, like, because you missed dinner.
Right. Well, what happened is my wife and I decided to go see some friends in New Jersey. So I thought, well, I can do both, you know. So I just kind of after we saw our friends that day, we went to we saw you guys later. You know?
Who are not your friends?
Yeah, not friends. Yes.
I just want to clear that.
The actual friends were earlier, and then
it was just like the comic book friends,
and then these guys.
Yeah, we were his super friends.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
I'm gonna go hang out my super friends now. Now, Aaron, I'm really curious.
I would have the same reaction as Aaron looking at the Simpsons porn. If somebody talked like that to me, it's like, okay.
Aaron, I'm good if it's okay with you. Because we're doing the big hustle at San Diego, like with our dinners. I'm gonna reach out to Jenabeth about Thursday. for dinner.
Yep. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Cool. So
Uh,
I got.
no, I was gonna say, Billy, you got something cooking today, don't you?
Yeah. It's so funny because
If you have your screen, you can share it with me, and I'll bring it up.
oh, this is your show. That's fine. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lament if for a minute.
We want no. We want to push this stuff, man.
You want to help you out,
No, it's
Billy?
quite all right. Well, I have hang on. Where is it? Forget it.
I knew I shouldn't have asked.
No. It's
You try and be nice, and this is Billy's
it's
just
for some reason on this computer. I don't know. It's I don't. I got to tell you something though, Gary, and that's do you ever the famous corn dog saying, every time I'm in a pickle, I just need to catch up with my friends, so that's why I'm here.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
Corn, thank you. So it happens. I want to show you something. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but it happens to the best of us, and those of us that pride themselves on perfection.
Yes.
So these, as it is in the
heard of these
spring,
people.
Aaron,
Yeah.
printers are so busy now, and there are fewer and fewer printers, and they seem to be busier and busier. So
Yes.
we put in this book a month ago, our 30th anniversary of She-Way the Warrior #5, right? This is the book that really turned it around for all of us. And, we printed them out, $1,000.
Hold that up again, Billy. Hold it up again.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay, so the book, it's beautiful, right? This is the back of it, Mark Silvestri cover. This is the book that really turned it around for us, Aaron, that made us from, say, a curiosity to a full-blown contender to the top comics, And then after this, we start out selling old Marvel books, old DC comics and stuff. So we get it. And this book is remastered, reprinted. I have all the original files. And can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I fine?
That was actually
Okay.
a task, though, wasn't it? Trying to put all that together.
Oh, yeah. I found the old files. No, I found them on a CD. And we use this in the omnibus edition that we put out. Well, look at this. So we get into this interesting part, right? So you see Anna is here. Now take it, guys. This is 30 years ago, okay?
Yep.
Right? So here we are, and she's putting down these lanterns for all the men that she had slain, all of Arashi's enemies and stuff. And all of a sudden she starts to turn, and all of a sudden she's in her costume, and the demon samurai that haunts her rises up from the water behind her, right? She gets starts to get into a big battle. They fall under the sea, and then getting ready for the big double page spread reveal. And
your screen just froze.
You just froze on the big.
What
Yeah.
the hell is going on?
For the big reveal, your screen froze.
Okay, now you're back. You're back.
Okay. And the big reveal. So all of a sudden, bam, this is a double page spread.
Oh my gosh.
Look,
Oh my.
of all the pages to go out of order,
Oh my.
this
God.
one. Look,
Oh my gosh.
my life. We finally get them all in.
Wow.
Again, like I was saying, because printers are so damn busy now with the yearbooks and all this stuff, and we're on, and we're small guys, it's like that. $1,000 down the drain that I have to get to reprint them all.
Wow.
Well, wait a minute. They're not taking responsibility for it?
We sent him the file like that.
Oh no.
And just being so busy and with the conventions and finally getting the slot. What are you gonna do? Right? What are you gonna do?
That's just
$1,000 I really can't afford to lose right now.
Yeah, of course.
With San Diego coming and printing this book and printing our San Diego Comic-Con specials and
Now, was it your fault or was it?
It's ultimately my fault, Aaron, because I'm the buck stops with me.
So you can't blame Debbie for this, is what you're saying?
No, it's not Debbie at all. Debbie did not have anything to do with it, and she is not happy.
I would think she wouldn't be.
So,
I don't think
so anyone out there, Gatecrasher is closing tonight on Indiegogo, so please support it because
Billy's in trouble.
I'm in big trouble. The wife, my God.
Save Billy. Back to the campaign.
That's right.
Back to campaign. That goes to the printer hopefully next week. I'm just waiting on the last 10 pages or so from Hi-Fi Color. Oh,
Oh,
Wow. I've never seen that before.
oh, it happens more than you think,
Really?
and
well,
it just,
apparently to Billy it does. Apparently, I don't know.
no, it's never happened to me before. But we've had misprints like, but it's kind of, you know, like the Senryaku book. They printed page 138 in the book in the Senryaku omnibus twice. And we had to send them. We already sent like 800 out. We sent a bunch of insert pages, the proper insert page.
Yeah.
But we had to send the majority of them back to have 4 pages ripped out and reprinted and restitched in it. And that was like $6,000 or something like that.
Well, especially at that point in the process where you think you're done. And you're like, oh boy, woo! Let's move on to the next project. Oh,
yeah.
Look, we're not done. We have to do this.
Yeah, well, when you get the pallets of books, you know, a couple thousand books in, and you know, and the reason why that happened is that they told us that the page, it was a double page spread, wasn't lining up. So we sent them, we mislabeled the page, and of course, they didn't notice that there were two of the exact same pages next to each other for some stupid reason. I don't know why. So they reprinted that page, but the original page that they said didn't line up was never touched, and it lined up perfectly. So,
well, the customer's always right. So go ahead and
sure, not in printing.
Yeah, that's never the case in printing. Yeah,
not with printers. So we're looking forward to meeting with Jenna and hopefully start working with them again, because they were really good to us. And I'm just excited. I'm excited about San Diego. No, I'm not. I'm terrified of San Diego. How are you doing, Aaron? You having anything special? Any special to your commissions or anything?
Here's the thing. It's creeping up on us. And I'm like, man, if I'm going to do something special for San Diego, I better do it like right now, because I need to get it printed and whatever. So I don't even know. I haven't even thought about it. I get up every morning going, I got to get this page done. I got to work on this. And
yeah. Well, you know, you've got a lot of great Graybeard's drawings, a lot of commissions that you've done. And
I've got a ton of stuff. I do.
Yeah. So you could make the Aaron Lopresti, you know, San Diego Comic-Con, you know, 2025 San Diego Comic-Con sketchbook, limited to 100 or something, and print it on black and white, and make 99 copies of it or 100 copies of it.
Look at Billy, man. Billy is an entrepreneur. Like,
you sign and number each one. Yeah, we're gonna have a couple of them ourselves. We did one with Brian Polito, because technically this is our 30th San Diego Comic-Con because of the COVID year. So we're going to do a special with Lady Death. We're doing a Lady Death and She special with a match, you know, with a combined cover. And then we're going to do a Gatecrasher oversized. This is what we're hoping to do. You know, the Treasury editions. We all love the Treasury editions, right?
I do.
I do. Yeah. Well, if you saw the Hush book from Jim Lee's Hush, we want to make a She Gatecrasher San Diego Comic-Con oversized book at 11/17. And here's the side. Look how big this book is. This is the size of the Treasury.
Wow. Yeah, but you're not going to do like a full Treasury edition size.
No, we're going to do a black and white, of the black and white part 1 of Gatecrasher. This size. So that's the plan.
Wow. Billy, it's really, really a shame that you don't have anything going on.
Yeah, right. And then we're gonna have the Rand ash can too for it. Thank God. I was gonna debut a new IP, and I'll tell you about that, Aaron, when I see you, because I'm very excited, very interested in hearing what your thoughts are on this.
Okay.
My new IP. And I have to have that ash can by San Diego, which isn't a problem because it's just gonna be like my roughs and script and a bunch of development art and stuff, art of mine from 30 years ago. I was looking at my submissions from them, like my comic art from 91, 92, 93. Oh my God, it's so bad. Horrible. Horrible.
Hey, Billy, I sent you the line art today for the Rand cover.
Yeah, I said it's fantastic.
Okay, cool.
It's gorgeous. She's total smoke show.
Awesome.
Sequential Treasures for $2 says, guys, got any words about Jim Shooter's passing? I never met him. I didn't know him.
Really?
I worked with him, but not like directly. I just worked on his script, and then he apparently didn't like it. So that's all the only thing I've got.
So what are you saying? Good riddance? You didn't like me, son.
I'm not going to go that far, but I know Billy knew him because Billy knows everybody.
Yeah, through our pal JC Vaughn, spent a lot of time with Jim. Became friends. I don't know, friendly with him. You know, I don't know if I could say friends. I never called him on the phone just to say how you doing and all.
Like Frazetta.
You never helped
Like
him
Frazetta, yeah, that's true.
Your buddy Frazetta.
But he was interested in talking to me about he wanted to do something crowdfunding. But you know, Jeff's a great friend. JC Vaughn is a great friend of ours.
yeah.
And Graham and I actually spent 3 nights with Jim, 2 years ago at a Comic-Con in North Carolina. And because we were just, you know, Graham and I are going to pal around, and we didn't really know too many other people. And he was like, hey, Graham, let's go to dinner. So Graham and I would go to a steakhouse, and there's Jim in the lobby just sitting like, hey, you want to come with us? Maybe 3 years ago. He's like, yeah, sure. So we got dinner with Jim.
And he said, who are you guys?
Yeah, no, he knew who we are.
Oh, okay.
And so we spent 3 nights with him, or 2 nights with him, but we had 2 dinners with him. And then we just spent the night outside smoking cigars with him. And he was just telling us how he wasn't crazy about Frank Miller at first. He didn't quite get him. But then when he took over Daredevil and just started doing all this stuff with the pages and everything, it was he's like, it was unbelievable. Like a light bulb just went on. And
yeah, well, that was everybody. Everyone's first see his work go, ugh. And then, man, when you see him tell a story.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And so that was great. I'll always cherish that. It was a real privilege. And just asking him questions about when he came along, but he was also very self-depreciating, right?
Deprecating.
Sorry, self-deprecating. Self-depreciating is my comics by me misprinting them.
We try to use proper English around here, except when Gary's reading the chats.
I get a pass.
Yeah, he referred to himself several times as this monster. Here I am, this monster. Like I'm like, oh, come on, you're not a monster.
Well, he was famous for asking for major corrections after a comic book had been inked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, he did that all the time.
Wow.
And some people didn't like it, Billy. They weren't all friendly with him.
Well, was that you? Did he ask?
No. I only worked with him at DC. He was just a writer. He didn't have any sort of editorial control over anything, or he probably would have had me redraw stuff.
I have a story.
Let's hear it.
David, before you start, I promised Aaron I would give him a heads up on the time about this period.
Oh, we got 15 minutes. Okay. There you go, gentlemen. 15 freaking minutes. Well, we got to do the art auction.
Oh, yeah.
All right, David, go ahead.
My first experience ever dealing with anybody professional as far as my career was talking to Jim Shooter. I was 16 years old, and I cold called Marvel. And the secretary picked up the phone, and they said, may I ask who's calling? Said, oh, this is David Williams. They said, what is it regarding? I said, I'm an artist. So they must have assumed that I already worked there. So he picks up the phone, and I just run down my whole story. I want to work for Marvel, and I want to do comics, and what do I need to do, and all this other kind of stuff. And we had almost an hour-long conversation.
Wow.
He obtained a fan just cold calling him.
Wow.
And I was in heaven, man. I went to school the next day just telling everybody word for word everything that went down. And I said, oh, man, I'm going to get a job at Marvel. Everybody thought, like, from that phone call, I got a job at Marvel and stuff like that. But I didn't. But, not too long after that. But that was like the real super spark that lit a fire under my butt to, you know, produce pages, you know, do it on professional paper, go to conventions, do all this other kind of stuff. And it was because of him.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty awesome, man.
That's a cool story.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, cool story, bro. But is it true? No.
You know what I have to say to that?
Let's see. Bill Murray for $5 says, Aaron, you should consider making Ron baseball caps to sell at cons. Ron, you can't really. That's the thing. It's like you can't get the voice inflection in the words, but I should. Anything to make cash. You know, I'm a capitalist. Nicholas Gear for $5. Thank you very much for that. He says, I have a Tin Soldier commission by Frank Miller. It has nothing to do with anything. I just like telling people that. Booyah! There you go. I did a cover for Nicholas Gear.
Remember when Mike S. Miller got really annoyed when people said, hey, Mike, and they kept saying it to him? I thought, man, that was like marketing gold. You could put, hey, Mike on t-shirts. You could put, you know, he's the only one who didn't like it, but I was like, so good. It's so good. That would have been a great one.
Well, I don't really know that there's a hey in front of Ron. It's just me going, Ron, or it's Ron in his Ron Garney. His interpretation of me saying Ron is Ron, which I don't really think I sound like that, but that's how he's got me pegged. So, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to go back to a question that was asked a little while ago. See, let me scroll up, see if I can find it. It's asked a while ago, but the conversation didn't have, we weren't talking about this topic. Danky Frankie, he asked me this question on Twitter, and I didn't know how to answer him. He said, Aaron, Gary, David, Dan, is leaving you out. Billy is leaving you out. How do you guys ink a hot chick's face cheeks without making her look like she has a beard? Any type of inking I could look up? I have Gary's book. He's having trouble with the cheeks and the jawline, inking the cheeks and the jawline, and he's asking for tips. That's probably one of the most difficult lines to ink, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, first of all, I try to stay away from it most of the time. I mean, if you're just talking about the jawline, obviously you want a clean line there. You don't want it like, you know, ragged. If someone has indicated like cheekbones, I like to put on a real thin kind of wispy couple of lines. So it almost feels like a gray as opposed to, you know, I don't know what Gary would, you know, because I guess John Romita did that a lot, would have those cheekbones, right?
Right.
And it was always a couple of lines, but they were always very soft.
Yeah, and you want to make it subtle.
Right.
Hardly know.
Yeah, he's saying he's talking about cheekbones. So
right.
So I think you are addressing that, Aaron.
Yeah.
Really, you don't want lines on a girl's face at all.
Yeah.
It has, with women's faces, Billy would probably agree with this. Less is more.
Yep. Absolutely. But I can do a short demo here while we're waiting, which will be a detriment to my finishing.
Are you done?
Not really, but let's see. What do I got here? Actually, I don't know if I have a wet brush. You know what? I'll try and do it on my. Is that Danky Frankie that asked that?
Yeah.
I'll try and do it on the Sunday show because then I can get set up for it. See, I need I have to do a little quick drawing and then.
Aaron, thank you for having me on. I'm gonna go. I think I left my phone at the gym. All right. So thank you for having me on, guys, and I'll see you later.
Are you going to be? Are you going to be on someplace tonight, closing out?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Ethan. He texted me like an hour ago, and I didn't notice it because I left my phone.
Right.
Then he messaged me on Twitter, so I'll check. But hopefully on Ethan's show. So
Okay.
thanks, guys.
You bet.
See you, Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Gary, do you have a beef you'd like to share with our folks?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Well, Gary always has a beef, but here we go. Let's find out what Gary's beef is this week.
What's Gary's beef?
So my beef this week is with vertically challenged hotheads.
Did you say potheads?
Hotheads.
Hotheads.
I don't think I've ever told this story to anyone before. I was at a gas station. I just recently purchased my Jeep Cherokee, filling it up with pride. I'm pulling away from the pump, heading toward, the driveway out into the street. I'm about halfway there, and there was a guy in a pickup truck that was parked tail in at the convenience store. So he was, to my right. I'm making a left-hand turn into, in the parking lot toward the driveway, and he zooms ahead, cuts me off. And there was a car in the driveway, so he couldn't have gone very far anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him the requisite, horn honk.
Yeah.
Boy, he didn't like that.
Uh-oh.
He rolls down his window and he starts cursing at me like crazy. He jumps out of his car, and that's when I notice he's a little guy. I'm talking, maybe 5'4".
Oh, really? That's small.
Little.
He's little. And he was brandishing like a big flashlight, like he's, meant business with it. And he's storming over to my car.
Oh, boy.
And he's cursing. It reminded me of, remember The Christmas Story, when the kid is describing his dad, Darren McGavin?
Yeah.
That he was, how did he say, he wove a web. No, he wove a tapestry of profanity that still hangs over
Lake Michigan,
New Jersey to this day. That's what this guy was doing. He was weaving a tapestry of profanity. So he's coming at me, and as I'm thinking about, my new vehicle. So I happen to carry, have you ever seen those expandable metal batons?
Yes.
That law enforcement use it to break car windows when they need to get into a car, like an emergency.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I have one of those. I grab it. I step out of my car. I give it a little flick, and it extends to 3 feet. I don't know if him stopping in his tracks was due to the baton or to my, intimidating stature.
Yes.
And
your Clint Eastwood scowl.
That's exactly. I want to go with my intimidating stature because I could hear the squeak of his, the rubber of his shoes when he stopped. And he just turned around, went back into his car, and drove away. But he was cursing the entire time, from when I honked my horn to when he got in his car and drove away. Nonstop verbal abuse.
Oh.
Well, it was that Lee Van Cleef look he had.
Exactly.
He came out, he had your hat.
Yeah, either that or me snapping the metal baton.
Like, this guy's done this before.
Well, it might have been a good combination of all those things, It's like, oh, this guy's way bigger than me. Wow, he's got like a nunchuck thing.
And all I can think of was that, this guy was 100% in the wrong, that he absolutely cut me off. So for him, excuse me, for him to lose it because I honked at him for doing that, he's clearly was having a bad day. There was something going on in his life, and that was the last straw.
Actually, probably it's everyday occurrence.
Maybe, but people don't usually. I mean, this is the Vancouver, Portland, Vancouver area, so there are a lot of oddballs, and that's why I carry that baton in my car. There are a lot of oddballs, but still.
And occasionally, if you're in a marching band, all of a sudden pops up.
Yeah, it's not that kind of baton.
Yank it out, it extends, and then you're leading the parade.
Okay, Beowulf might be onto something. He says his girlfriend left him for a taller dude. That could have been it. That could have explained it right there.
I had a kind of an opposite story to that, where it actually was kind of my fault, but then they wouldn't let it go. But 99 is a high, not a freeway, but a highway, a 4-lane. And I pulled out because I thought the guy that was coming up on me, I had enough room to kind of pull out and get up to speed, right? And it wasn't a dangerous situation, but apparently he had to slow down a little bit. So they give me the horn, and I just waved and went, yeah, I'm sorry, my fault kind of thing, right? Well, then they drive up alongside of me, right? And it's some ugly
Usually
hippie.
the sorry wave will calm somebody down.
Right, but not in this case. So this ugly hippie dude with his butt ugly girlfriend or wife or drive up alongside of me, and they're like, the window's not down, it's up, but they're like yelling at me inside their car, and I can see them and shaking their fist at me. And I looked over at him, and I just kind of gave him a wave, like, give me a break,
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't stop. Then they kept they would slow down just to get right even with me and continue to yell at me with their windows rolled up.
Boy, they were teaching you a lesson.
Yeah, I was just like, are you guys freaking kidding me? It's not like anybody had to throw on their brakes or anything. And like I did, I apologized for making them slow down because I thought I had more room. And then they
But yeah, you apologized, so that should have been that.
But no, it wasn't enough for these dirty hippies. I'll tell you that right now.
If they were clean hippies, would that made any difference?
It might have been a little bit different, yeah. But these dirty hippies, they're the kind that they just won't let it go. And I thought, at least roll down your window so I can hear what you're yelling at me. It's just like,
hey,
why is there a cliche to call someone a dirty businessman?
David, what were you saying?
I said we got to wrap this up. Have you looked at the time?
Oh yeah, 4:00.
All right, hang on a second. I'm almost done.
Where's everybody?
Almost done. Just hang on.
Dan, are you there?
Pretty much done. Yeah. I mean, not done, but I will put it aside.
All right, I'm all okay. We'll wrap it. All right, let me show you what I've accomplished so far in just 1 hour and 15 minutes, folks. So let's.
So you're starting before you even show it. You lay down the disclaimer.
That's right, because I just think people need to know that I didn't have enough time to really do it the way I wanted to, but I almost did.
Well, this was a shorter time period than you normally get.
Someone said it needs a DK on the tie. I've got it right there in blue. You see that? I didn't forget. I just haven't inked it yet.
I see it.
So, but I've got the babe in there. I haven't inked her face yet, but everything else is there, as you can see.
So who's this character?
This is Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay.
And I think doesn't he kidnap a girl and then Mario tries to get him or whatever? Isn't that how it works? I don't know.
He's a villain that he would kidnap the girl.
Yeah, and I wanted to put Dead Mario down here, which I haven't got to yet, but I think I will add him as well, and we'll show it later. on social media. And next week, of course, I'll go ahead and show the finished piece. But it's almost done, as you can see.
Yes.
So, not a bad effort for an hour and 15 minutes. So there you go.
Not bad at all.
No, wait a minute. People are saying he needs some briefs. I'm telling you, I'm looking at multiple versions of him, and only one has pants. All the rest, he's like buck naked monkey man. So I'm sticking with it.
Make his conky dong.
That's your new pitch to DC.
Yeah, if I could work Uncle Sam into it, I think I'd be onto something. All right, David, let's see what you got here. Oh,
wow.
Oh, are you stepping on? Oh, he's stepping on the little ghosts from.
Yeah. So he's chasing the ghost monsters. So I'm doing two kinds of villains.
Wow, double
Venom.
Venom chasing little ghosts from Pac-Man.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Yeah,
fantastic. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, this will be really, really cool when you get it finished.
Sweet.
Hang on a second. Spambot's saying, yeah, but your version needs briefs, Aaron. That is not true. I'm looking at this version right now, and he has no pants on. I've got like multiple pictures of this version of him with the tie. He has no pants. So you guys talk to your video game people, because they're selling me bad information, apparently.
You're doing monkey dong.
I have to put it in a silhouette. Okay, very nice. Let's see what Dan's got for us.
Okay.
Oh, so
he's not done yet, but he's getting there.
That's a long sword.
Yeah, it's a really long sword.
Wow, you fit that in nicely.
Yeah. So this is Sephiroth, people, apparently.
Yes.
Very nice.
Or Sephiroth. Whatever. I don't know how you would say it.
Well, can we see his pointy? Does he have like pointy elf ears?
They're hidden in the hair. I think most references I couldn't see any ears.
Okay. All right. Wasn't sure if that was a thing that maybe perhaps you were forgetting, and I was trying to save you.
Oh, you're trying to bury me and throw me on the bus. I get it. Otherwise known as throwing under the bus.
Well, you could, yeah. I guess you could look at it that way, but very nice.
Yes,
so
cool.
Honestly, I think you guys. I think for an hour and 15 minutes, I think we did a pretty good job today.
I agree.
You're not too shabby.
I think we should all be proud of ourselves.
Yep.
And I'm so proud of myself. I'm going to ask everybody to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because do you see Andy Smith almost has 5,000 subs now? There was a time where I was destroying him, and now he's destroying me. This cannot stand. So help me out. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so, because the entertainment you get is remarkable. I mean, I know I sound like Dan Lawless right now, but I think it's pretty good.
Apparently,
pretty good.
Pretty good stuff.
According to ads 80, I missed super chats.
Yeah, I want to be clear that you missed super chats. It wasn't my fault. Okay, here we go. Let's see. No, we've got Nicholas Gear said about the Tin Soldier Commission, Frank Miller. We did get that. There is this one though. Bill Murray returns for $2 and says, Aaron, have you asked Anna to be on this show? I have. And she said,
no way.
Yeah, she was like, why? She goes, you know how many subs I have, Aaron? I just kind of dropped my head and walked
Wow.
Actually, I think I asked her too, and I said, hey, we could draw eyes, because she had that eye project, but that was back when she had that. But I thought that'd be a cool thing to everyone drew an eye,
No,
it wouldn't, Dan.
It's the
really?
it's the time of no. I was
no
gonna
one's gonna buy a drawing of an eye.
Well, they're drawing her book. They're buying her book, isn't it? But not from us.
No, right. From us.
Yeah.
No one's gonna.
Yeah, but it's an interesting experiment,
That's true. We could just get all like pastel-y and stuff and just really go for it. But it's like the bad time for her baby.
What?
Pastelli. That sounds like an artist's sidekick.
Pastelli.
That's what you said.
Yeah,
You get all
Pastelli.
Pastelli with it.
Oh, Pastelli with the yeah. See, I don't even know what I said. Yeah. So it's a bad time for her in the middle of the day with the baby. So was the biggest issue. Because I tried to get her to come on with Graham and Ron Garney, so we could have the whole Star Trek crew on there. But anyway, so hope always springs eternal, and Rini wants to come back on again if we can get her schedule straightened out. So that's one chick we can bring back. So anyway, all right. So what we're going to do now is, guys, we're going to do like an art auction. Now there's a couple of stipulations. Minimum bid on these pieces is $100 because, gosh darn it, if you want us to cut up cardboard and styrofoam and all sorts of stuff to properly ship this, got to make it worth our while. So the opening bid on any of these pieces is going to be $100. Now you may get it for $100, but this kind of $50, $25 thing is well, we're not going to do it. We're just going to start at 100 and see where it goes.
Yeah, the pieces are all worth a lot more than that. So yeah.
Yeah, you're at $100, you're getting a deal, but it's got to be at least 100. So there you go. So it basically the same rules that always have been. We'll do a countdown. We're going to give it a couple minutes. We'll count down to 10. If someone bids within the countdown, we'll start it over at 5 to count down again. And remember, you guys are on a bit of a delay. So if you wait till like 1 second or 2, your bid's not going to get in time. And so just understand that. Bid early, bid often. Let's get this show on the road. So who wants to go first? Who is the sucker that wants to go first?
Let Dan go.
David.
Dan.
I can go. Whatever.
Okay, Dan Lawless is going to go. He doesn't care. He's not afraid. So let's bring up Dan here. And there we go. So we're looking for, how big is this?
11 by 14.
So you got 11 by 14. Uncle Sam. Look at that. So you guys quit debating about girls in the chat and let's get focused on the bidding. So we're looking for a bid for $100 for Uncle Sam. And you want to type in $100 confirmed or
Spirit of America, guys.
There it is. There's your first bid. It's me.
Oh,
for
really?
$100.
Okay, cool.
I just pissed off Stealth because he bid 100 right after me. So we need like 110.
117 confirmed.
Oh, look at that. Sequential treasures or artist is being clever. 117.76.
Well, it's hard to argue with that price, right?
That's right. 17.76 right there is our so Stealth, get in there. We need what's that? Let's just okay, so we need like 130 to go beyond that.
Yeah, look at those arms, dudes.
Yeah, let's zoom in on those
forearms, baby.
Forearms, those Frazetta forearms.
There it is. Stealth says, all right, talk me into it. 120 confirmed. There you go.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite pieces I've drawn on Graybeards. I think it's pretty cool.
You're out there yourself.
Stealth's bidding against himself, 130. There we go.
Oh man, thanks.
It's because you said 130.
Well, you manipulate the
Let's
bids.
try to experiment. Say a high price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aaron, you could just kind of bump it up, and then if it doesn't get
right.
Right.
So we're looking for 140. But come on, even it up. Just do 150 because that's that's a little bit more. It's not even, obviously, but it's a more comfortable number.
Yeah, I want to color that. I started coloring this too. It was kind of fun. So.
Frankie says, make every bid a significant year in American history. Next bid should be 1929 stock market crash.
What, is he trying to tell us something?
I don't know.
I like his thinking anyways, though.
Nice posture. All right, guys, we're going to start a countdown. We're at 130. I don't remember. There's going to be a little bit of shipping in there too. So
Did you mention we're going to keep these auctions short? Like
yeah, short and sweet, guys, because we only have too much time because I have to get to the landing party here in about a half hour. So we want to kind of get through this. And Dale A says that's a video game villain. Pay attention, Dale. We're doing an art auction, man. All right, so we're going to start the old countdown.
Yeah, and I should probably still have his mailing address because he bought one.
Thank you, Frankie. Is that a bid?
No, not for. He's being funny or trying to be. 10.
Type confirmed. That's a bid.
Yeah, you got to type in confirmed after a bid, so we know it's true. Anthony Perone is Anthony. If you don't knock it off, I'm going to kick you. All right. 8.
All right,
7.
This is really slow content.
So I got to type it in, I'm trying to give people a chance. 6.
Okay.
We're looking for 140. 150 would even be better. 5. 4. 3.
X minus 3. X minus 2. X
2.
The glitch says Aaron should draw Bowser for fun.
Yeah. Okay. Going once. Going twice. Sold to the American.
Thank
Stealth
you.
X5 takes it
Appreciate that.
for $130. Thank you very much. Dan will type in your you'll type in your PayPal information, I assume.
He might already have it because he's but I'll do it anyways.
All right. So who's next?
I'll do it.
All right. Which one are you putting up?
I don't know. Which one should I put up? What do you think?
Stealth is asking Dan.
Which one?
Shipping.
Which one do you think?
Chad? Anybody have an opinion on what piece David should put up?
Shipping now, $15 just to make sure. It'd probably be cheaper than that, but
well, Robin is your most known character of those 3. I like the Robin piece. I also like the Megaton dude.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, do the Megaton, man. That's cool.
Danky Frankie says Robin.
Just my opinion. You don't get to Danky. If you're not going to bid, you don't get to have an opinion.
Yeah. Kelraiser says Robin. That's 2 for Robin.
Okay, there you go. All right. Let's see if these folks are ready to back up their recommendations. 11 by 17, Robin. We're looking for a bid of $100.
That's great.
Tremendous piece done on this very show, I believe, wasn't it?
Yep.
We can't even get people to agree what to put up for auction. Everybody, Robin, Dan's piece. It's like,
well, what they can do is just bid on the piece. Like say, hey, if they want to bid on Robin, bid on Robin. Put it in the chat. If they want to bid in,
couldn't they?
And whichever price gets the highest.
So is Robin gonna is he reaching out because he's gonna grab some dude's collar, hold him still, and then clobber him with the?
He's reaching for Catwoman's titty.
He's balancing himself so he's a precise throw, don't you know?
That's right. Well, I think it's more of a back off or you're going to get this batarang in your eye.
Okay. It's
that's what I'm thinking.
It doesn't look threatening. It looks like he's happy to do it. He's got a smile.
He wants to do
it. Stealth X5, 100 confirmed. That's our bid right now.
Good old Stealth. He's paying Dan and he's bidding on David at the same time.
It's like being a two-fisted drinker. It was like you're a bidder and a payer at the same time. Agent Zero says definite Burt Ward vibes. This again, folks, is 11 by 17. A quality piece of artwork. In fact, I just bought an 11 by 17 frame to hang up David's Frankenstein Jr. that he did that I got from him. There's Rand Arrington for 125. Thank you, Rand. Appreciate it. This is an excellent piece, you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Wonderful. Yep, somebody's going to enjoy this for sure.
And the great thing about it is he didn't draw Robin in his little panties. He cut it off. So we got like the best part of his costume right there.
See, this Robin may give Kato a run for his money.
Yeah.
Did you actually have to say panties? He's trying to sell something here.
Wait a minute. Isn't that that's Jason Todd, isn't it? With the hairdo?
No, that's Dick.
That's what?
That's Dick.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So it is Dick. All right. As long as we're clear on that this is Dick.
Yeah, Agent Zero, you missed the drawing segment that went on for 2 hours.
Yeah, Agent Zero's coming in going, when are you guys going to draw? We've been drawing for 2 hours.
Nicholas Gear says, but you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
You know, this would be great for like a, like a bust, like a,
Oh, yeah. Like
Sure.
a little
bust
statue,
design.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're looking for, I guess, 135. We're looking for $10 increments at least. Kellraiser says, wasn't Jason Todd kind of a dick? Kind of was, I think. Glitch wants to know, is this classified as a dick pic?
Man.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to listen in on that debate.
Agent Zero, we will show our art again that we drew today. Since you came in late, we'll show it again before we're done. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right, I'm going to start a countdown. You guys are going to steal on this now. We say that, and you guys don't treat the Graybeards like a garage sale. This is quality artwork right here.
Yeah.
So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7.
There we go.
Stealth 135. Stealth is going to clean up and take everything.
Yeah.
Rand, you're not going to. Rand, come in at 150. You're not going to let him do that for a couple of bucks.
That happen, Rand.
What was that?
I said, yeah, Rand, don't let that happen. Don't let this guy come and punk you like that.
That's right.
Well, stealth.
You hear that? You're being punked.
There it is. Rand is not about to be punked on this. There it is. So what do you say to that, Stealth? Are you thinking 175 seems like that's an okay price?
Yo, Stealth, Rand just called you a bitch.
Stealth, are you going to stand for that? Wow. It's out there.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get back to it. So I think I left off on 6. So we'll start at 6 on the countdown. So there's 6. Stealth, don't wait till the last second, man.
He's laughing. He can't type.
5.
Oh, there it is. 160.
Oh, 160.
There it is. 160.
That I ain't nobody's bitch.
Wait a minute, what did I do with this? There it is. Come on, Rand. You're not going to stand for that, are you?
David, you should be an auctioneer.
Properly motivated.
Rand, look at Rand is
I think Rand is heating up his pimp stick. So hold on.
Look, Rand saying dinner just showed up. 170. There you go.
170.
Oh,
I'm going to say, yeah, he's got the confirmed after it. So we got you, Rand. 170
so
confirmed.
dinner showed up. That's not
Stealth. What are you going to do about this? If I were you, Stealth, I'd just go 200 and then see if Rand is going to play ball.
He's saying Stealth got served. Is that what he's saying?
No, Dan. You're not. That's not street enough.
All right. Do I start counting down and pressure Stealth a little bit here?
Yeah, countdown.
Absolutely.
All right. Are we ever going to get off 6 here? 6. See, I count slowly, Dan, to give it the lag a chance to catch up, so people aren't. 5. Oh gosh!
Oh, there we go.
80 just in time. 4. I'm using
down here.
I'm using both hands, John. 3. Come on, Stealth. You know you want it. Boy, that didn't sound good.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
2. All right.
I'd actually probably put him out of it now. He's not going to bid. He's like, I do not want it.
I don't want it that bad. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. And it is sold to Rand Arrington for $170.
Good job.
David, you want some shipping for that too, I assume?
Yep. I put it in PayPal. I mean, in the link.
Oh, there it is. Okay. There you go. Thanks, Rand. Appreciate that very much.
He said, I ain't nobody's biatch.
That's right. He showed him. Rand's a stand-up guy. He's not going to take that crap off of Stealth. I don't know what happened to Stealth, though. But, you know. Okay, Gary, it's your turn. Are you ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready.
I know John Beatty's ready. He's
Freddie.
chomping at the bit, as they say. Actually, it's champing at the bit, someone told me. It's not chomping at the bit, it's champing at the bit.
Yeah, that's right.
I will never say champion. I'll say champ.
No.
John Beatty said, did I miss bidding on a Lopez piece? No, you haven't yet, John.
Starting up. This is Vampirilla recreation, Frank Frazetta recreation study. It's ink and wash, gray wash on graphite pencil on 11 by 17. Stealth is already throwing down here. Thank you.
Load up.
Oh, Beatty.
Beatty chiming in there. Yeah, it's a good piece, man.
Load up. There we go.
Check out those Frazetta hips. Frazetta does not skimp on the hips.
No. He drew
so I see the gray tones, which are a little tricky. That's the hard part. He does it. Frazetta does it so well, and I'm just fumbling around here. And then the exotic face.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, that Frankie guy was asking about the faces. Look at, there's no lines.
And when he does put a cheek line, it's very subtle.
Well, there's a very good example of it, right? Zoom in on that face, Gary, so that Danke can see that.
But you see the cheek lines are gray.
Yeah, very soft, broken, dry brush kind of look.
Right.
No wrinkle lines. That's the thing.
Yep. Beowulf says those are birthing hips, indeed.
Yep.
And we believe this is a recreation of a Vampirella piece that was used in the letters page on Vampirella magazine for Warren Publishing. I think that's where this was from.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Complete with 2 little cute Frazetta bats.
This has got to be one of the most challenging costumes, I would imagine, for a woman to cosplay.
They glue this stuff on, man. I think actually Anna did this once. I should ask her how she got it to stick. All right, so we're looking for more than 130 for this 11 by 17. Beatty is digging in his couch right now to see if he can find some change that he can bid on this piece.
He's calling his credit card
Beatty,
company.
Beatty, you can't ask another bidder what's their ceiling. I don't think that's. I think that's cheating. How high are you willing to go? And I'll bid just 1 penny over that.
Oh my goodness. Guess I'm all right. I guess I'll just be quiet, you know.
Yeah, you might as well start the countdown.
Let's see if he sabotages his own auction when he goes.
He's waiting to sabotage mine. I know that's what John's waiting for. Nolan Lockhart says, quit screwing around, man. 235 confirmed. And I'll tell you something right now, that's cheap for this piece. So that you're getting a great deal.
It is a beautiful recreation.
Yeah, thank you, Nolan. Appreciate it. No, he's not messing around.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay.
Bill Murray says
that might scare some people.
All right, let's count her down. 10. There it is. 9. If you want to bid, get in there. 8. 7. 6. 5. Looking for 245, I guess what we're looking for. 4. 3. 2. John Beatty says if it were Frazetta, I would go 500. Yeah, so would I. I think we'd get it though.
Yeah, so would I.
1 going once, going twice, going 3 times, and I got to type in sold to Nolan Lockhart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nolan. Gary put
Gary's
information right there.
Yeah, and could you kick in $15 or $20 for shipping because it's 11 by 17?
Hey, you know what? I'll toss this up. Why not?
Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead and auction off Olive Oil, Popeye, and Bluto or Bruno, depending on who you like. Looking for $100 opening bid on this wonderful piece featuring 3 characters of even signed by the artist, as you can see down here at the bottom.
Signed. It's even signed by the artist.
Oh, John's helping the cause. Ooh, I don't like that at all.
Oh, man. Wow.
Oh man.
$100 gets Popeye. Going once, going twice. Too late. It's over. Kidding. Maybe I'm not though.
Only $100 for a Popeye sketch. We had so many people watching the show when you did the Popeye, man.
Well, we did until I lifted this up, and then we lost our audience.
There's a lot going on in this piece.
All right, you guys blew it. I'm not doing it.
Well, change his mind.
Hey, 100 confirmed.
Oh, stealth bid.
Who?
Stealth.
All right, there we go. Just got in. I was going to switch drawings, but there we go.
Aaron, you may have just come up with a better sales technique than tearing it in half. Throw it down in disgust after 5 seconds. Noah's bidding. I'm out of here.
There it is, man. $100. So let's count this sucker down. 10.
That's a fun one to have.
9.
3 characters on there.
Yeah, that's you would not. If you were doing this at a convention, you would not sell it for $100. Stealth
No, I wouldn't. I'd sell it for 120. Easy.
Yeah. Stealth knows how to swoop.
7. 6. 5.
It reminds me of the Lights Out radio show. It is later than you think. These Lights Out stories are not for the faint of heart. If you scare easily, turn off your radio now.
2. Going once. Stealth getting himself a deal. Twice. 3 times. And I got to type in.
You should say goal instead of sold. Goal!
I want to thank John Beatty for putting his all behind this auction. And,
yeah. Torpedoing your sale.
Exactly. Thank you, Stealth. Appreciate it.
Like a good friend.
Well,
Thank you, Nolan. I just got your payment. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, I got Stealth as well. Thank you.
You guys want to do any more, or have you had it?
I'd like to try to do my Barry Smith Conan piece, but David's got first dibs.
You go first. Do yours first.
Yeah, that one.
There it is, folks.
Oh, that's
beautiful. 15 Stealth for shipping, please.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right, we're looking for at least $100 on this.
Yeah, this is a recreation study. Barry Smith Conan. It was a illustration that I was not familiar with, and when I saw it, like, okay, I got to see if I can.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I
put these side by side, Gary, and man, it's so close. But you still got your bit of you in it. It's really kind of neat.
Yeah, because he's a pen guy, and so my line is I use a brush, so my line is a little softer. This is 11 by 17, and it goes off the edge, as you can see. The artwork fills the paper, and it's over graphite and blue pencil, so there's a little bit of blue that peeks through. It's very bold. Let me blow it up. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it's the line work. It's just great.
Smith loved drawing warriors with winged helmets. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yep.
And
it's a little bit more of a godlike thing, you know, mighty like Thor and stuff like that. Yeah.
He has a great line weight variety.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when you think about Barry Windsor. He was kind of, you know, the artwork the Conan isn't really like necessarily tough, like brutal looking, but his decorative style that seems to work for fantasy.
Yeah, yeah. Not so much for superheroes, but for
although he can do superheroes too really well, but I'm thinking
confirmed.
Where is it? There it
Nolan
is.
Lockhart.
Thank you, Nolan. Nolan, you don't. Yeah, if you get this, you don't have to pay any shipping on this piece. And his details, I was like, like this little dagger hanging upside down.
Yes.
With all the loops and
some of my favorite comic artists are the ones who did the decorative line, like Michael Kaluta, and Charles Vess, and some of these guys that just they had it was perfect for the kind of fantasy stuff that You can't do like a comic book style for fantasy, really. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. Not as good.
Right.
You want to see all the, like you say, all those ringlets and stuff, and all the details. Texture.
Agent Zero says Gary definitely knows his trade. By the way, Gary, are you available for inking interiors, or is that in the rear view mirror?
No, it depends on the project and who the pencil artist is. If it's something intriguing and the page rate is decent, I'll make time for it. So yeah, hit me up on Twitter and we can talk about it some more if you're serious.
We're looking for 1:30 at least on this, so I'm going to start a countdown in just a second. But I am trying to finish up this chick's face on my Donkey Kong drawing. Okay. So close. Okay. Spambot says key part is the page rate. High enough page rate makes anything possible. You know, it really does.
That's true.
Unless you're David Williams and you don't want to get inked by Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
The page rate doesn't matter.
That's true. The ridiculous page rate is like, no thanks.
I would have taken the ridiculous page rate. All right. You want me to count it down, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 10, there it is. 9. 8. There's people asking me, 7, what I drew on the show today, and I'm like,
you just put it up.
It was on the, and it's from Victor, who I believe has been here the whole time. So,
10 minutes ago.
Yeah. What are we at here? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times.
A lady.
Goal! There it is. I did it, Dan. So 120, right. Nolan, man.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you. Like I said, you don't have to kick in any extra for shipping on this. I'll put it in the same package with the Vampirilla, and I hope to ship them off tomorrow.
All right, Victor, this is what I drew today, all right? I didn't draw Popeye. That was last week.
Make yourself big here.
This is what I drew this week, Donkey Kong.
Oh, I didn't notice the girl. That's great.
You didn't notice the girl.
I hadn't finished.
Well, I didn't expect to see her kind of in the nook of his arm there. Kind of.
There it is. So there you go.
It's pretty cool.
That's what I did today.
It's interesting.
Still got a little work to do on it. David, do you want to go with another one?
Yeah, do the last one.
All right, there it is. This is what's this guy's called? Megalith from Continuity Studios. When we did our Continuity Day, this is 11 by 17 as well. Very nice looking piece. Looking for $100 starting bid on this.
Yeah, this is one of. I still remember that. You know how it's funny. Certain comic books stick out, and in your memory. And when that first page, when he's busting through the cinder block, it's just so cool. I mean, we need to do more of that kind of storytelling in comics. You know, just that cinematic, panel to panels that gives you a sense of something, time passing. It's just cool, Zach, man. And I like in that particular issue too. I think they had a backup story called Crazy Man. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah,
it was really wild.
Neil Adams did a portfolio like before any of those books came out, for like the main characters, there was a Crazy Man piece in there. There was was this guy Megaton? What's his
Megalith.
Megalith?
That blonde girl with a silhouette.
Mystic or something like that.
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
Ms. Mystic? Ms.
Mystic, yeah.
And then who's the judo master or something like that? Something like that. Armor, yeah.
Yeah, Armor was cool.
And there was one other one in there.
I think I remember that one had those covers with the cutout paper in it.
John says Tippy Toe Jones.
Yeah, that's the one. Victor says, Aaron, have you played Castlevania Lament of Innocence?
Of course not.
Why would you even think that? All right, we're looking for a $100 opening bid on this. We got any action on this at all?
Are you guys kidding?
You got a bunch of starving artists in the chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now Victor's asking anybody in the chat if they played it. Anybody?
Anyone?
Bueller? All right.
It's Megalith isn't too popular.
And Rand said, "I'll take it." $100 from Rand. Thank you. Rand.
There you go.
Yeah, Rand.
Very good piece. Very good piece.
It was a steal.
We'll just leave it at that. Just count down to 1, and Rand got it.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sold to Rand for 100. There you go.
Oh, that is a swoop.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, though. It's kind of nice that people get some good deals.
That's what we're all about, is helping out the poor.
So it's thank you.
Did Rand get your other one, David?
Yeah, he did. So he doesn't
Okay,
have to pay shipping.
there you go. Just tosses it right in there. All right, that's going to wrap it up. I think.
I'll throw in something extra for him.
There you go, Rand. You get a little extra in there.
A little bit
Very
of
nice.
extra.
Yeah, I usually actually pretty much every time I put a little quickie sketch in there in addition to my stuff.
I don't. I normally take stuff out as I'm getting ready to package it up.
I do a personalized sketch,
so it's better, better for me. All right. For the late arrivers, again, this is what I did. Dan, you want to get your piece? This is what I did today. As we did video game villains. I'm going to do a little rock work down. I think I'm going to put Dead Mario down here at his feet, or whoever that guy is. And this is what Dan did. Some elf guy
from Final Fantasy.
The elf guy.
Sephiroth.
I don't recognize this character because I didn't make it to Final Fantasy. I only made it to second to last fantasy.
Penultimatum. No.
That was a long setup for a crummy joke.
Yeah. Bearwolf 13 says it's not an elf. Okay, so he's not. That's why he doesn't have pointy ears, because he's not an elf. Okay. And let's see, David, throw yours up again real quick. David's got a really cool piece he's working on. That Venom piece, stepping on ghosts from Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
You got it handy?
Hold on. I thought I tore it up.
You better not have.
What's in David's trash?
Yeah, exactly.
Stealth for 10 is great show, guys. Thank you, Stealth. Thanks for bidding, and thanks for the super chats. There it is.
Greater if I had my camera working, though. People could
There's
see
always
me.
next week, Dan.
I know. It's very frustrating, though. That when don't you hate it when something works and all of a sudden it just doesn't work? You didn't do anything different at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, why did it decide not to work?
This is going to be super cool when you get this done.
Dan, are you describing? Never mind.
All of a sudden doesn't work. You reach an age.
Stealth says, I wonder what Aaron would have switched to had he not come in and bid on the olive oil. What indeed? I probably would have switched to Colossus versus Igu, but you know, now we'll never know. So anyway, folks, thank you. Thanks you guys for all the super chats. We thank you guys for contributing to the show because we could not do it without you. Please hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. And also be aware, I didn't get to it because I forgot once again, but I have a campaign called Wraith of God, Fear Hollow, that's currently active on Indiegogo. Please check it out. I just talked to my t-shirt guy today, so shirts will be coming soon. Gary has Brush with Destiny, his art book, his fabulous art book. You can order it right now. It's ready to go. There's a link in the description. Go to Dan's website. Thank you.
danlawless.com. DANLAWLIS.
There's a link in the description of this video. Take you right there. And of course, David and EVS's Fearsome, which they're almost done with. So that book should be wrapping up pretty soon. If Ethan will finish the last few pages of script, that's not pressure or anything. So anyway, guys, thank you all. Links in the description of this video.
Wait. I also got this.
Corn dogs. Corn dogs. Corn dogs.